Welcome, everybody. Today, we are dealing with a serious topic. This is not just internet drama. This is not just another panel yelling over each other. No, this is about a young man's death and a young man sentenced to prison, two families destroyed, and a verdict that exposed something ugly in culture. Carmelo Anthony found guilty in the death of Austin McCaff and sentenced to 35 years in prison. That is the legal outcome. A jury heard the case, a court made a decision. Now people can agree or disagree with the verdict, and that is fair. People can debate self-defense. People can debate whether the sentence was too high, too low, or just right. But the public discussion tonight or today is not only about the verdict. Today's debate is also about something deeper. This is the question. Did Fatty and his panelists simply disagree with the verdict, or did they respond, or did their response reveal a racial bias? Because there's a bigger difference between saying, I believe the evidence and supports the conviction, and using a tragic case to excuse, black men, black women, or the black communities with one broad brush. Or there's a difference between justice and racial resentment. There's a difference between accountability and hatred. There's a difference between saying this man did wrong, acting like this proves something about an entire race of people, or where Donovan Sharp comes in. Donovan is not here to pretend that Carmelo Anthony is innocent. He's not here to ignore the pain that Austin McCaff's family went through. He's not here to play games on a dead young man's life. He is here to challenge Fatty and his panelists on their motives, their language, their double standards, and the way they talk about race, in this case, being involved. Because if your standard is justice, then your standard should stay the same no matter who's involved. Black defendants, white defendants, black victims, white victims, poor defendants, rich defendants, popular victims, unpopular victims. Justice is supposed to be blind. But some people only become law and order when the defendant is black. Some people only become law and order when the victim is white. So some people only talk about personal responsibility when it's useful against the other party that doesn't look like them. And that's the problem. So if Fatty and his panelists were simply saying the jury got it right, then fine to make that argument. But if they're using this case to mock, smear, or generalize or radicalize black people, then Donovan has every right to press them on it. Because racism is not always something wearing a hood. Sometimes racism is selective outrage. Sometimes racism is pretending one crime speaks for a whole group of people. Sometimes racism is hiding behind the facts while only choosing the facts that confirm your prejudice. Sometimes racism is saying, I'm just asking questions, while every question is designed to make one group look savage and another look innocent. So tonight, Fatty has a chance to prove to Donovan that Donovan is wrong. He has a chance to show why he believes his opinion. And Donovan has a right to interrogate him and push him on it. This is not for internet clout. This is not using a dead teenager and a convicted teenager as fuel for racial content. So both of them have a job to do. They're both going to present their case. So without being said, I'm going to bring up our panelists, our debaters. Okay. Also want to know, I'm going to tell you guys now how the rules are going to go. Both debaters have an opening statement. They're both going to be 5 minutes long. After each 5-minute opener, they get a Q&A, 10 minutes to interrogate the other party. After the 10-minute Q&A, it's going to go to a 20-minute open format back and forth. I already told them that they will not be talking over each other. One person's talking, the other person waits till the person's finished talking. If we get into this talking over each other part, I will mute the person that is interrupting and let that person that was talking finish their statement. After that, the 20 minutes of back and forth, we're going to go to a 5-minute closer. And then from there, I will drop the link, or we'll first read only super chats. Then from that point, I will drop the link. And for anybody who wants to come up and ask questions, I'll bring them up. Make sure you put your questions in the private chat in the back. That way I know that you are staying on topic. There will not be any ad homs. We're not talking about people's families. We're talking about the case. We're not talking about Fatty or Donovan or their significant others or their personal lives. We are only going to be talking about the case at hand. If you cannot participate in that way, you will not be welcome. Without further ado, let me introduce the panelists. On the affirmative side, Donovan Sharp.
What's up, guys?
Debating Mr. Fatty. Let me get down here. I'm going to go on the bottom. There we go. So, do this too.
Oh, there we go. Good job.
So, you guys both know the rules. We went over them. You guys agreed to a fair debate. Donovan, since you are the affirmative, I'm going to go ahead and start your time whenever you start talking, when you're ready.
Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and go. You go ahead and start the timer. First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for tuning into this. Second of all, I know that there is a little bit of a delay. I know that I'm lagging, but as long as you guys can see and hear me okay, I think that is the point. So I guess let's just start off with my first assertion that now Fatty told me that every one of his panelists, they all thought he was guilty. Nobody thought he was innocent. It is my contention that at least two of the panelists, not only did they believe he was not guilty, I believe that the reason why they think he's not guilty is because of race. And it is because of race, and I believe that they're racist. And if you want to, if Fatty wants to bring those two up to come up and correct me, I have no issue with that at all. What I am going, and here's the thing, I want Dr. Ilkan Ilani, or whatever the hell his name is, and this, GOAT debater, to come up and say that I believe Carmelo Anthony was guilty of first-degree murder and that he should have gotten 35 years in prison. I don't believe either one of those guys are going to do that without some sort of a caveat. So I'll go ahead and put that out there right now. That's how we're going to prove the racial bias. Now, I'm going to go over just a few, and again, just let me know when my time is up because it doesn't really matter at this point. A lot of people say he got jumped. Well, if somebody were being jumped, then how was he able to get away after he stabbed Austin Metcalf? He wouldn't. Somebody would have grabbed him, chased him, etc. Then there is the excuse, well, there is a secret video. There is a video that no one is aware of. If that were the case, then it would have been required to have been looked at because that is exonerating evidence. If there is evidence that would or could exonerate a defendant, the law is to admit that video into evidence. The video was never admitted into evidence, okay? Then there's the white people do it too. Well, two wrongs don't make a right, okay? And anyone who says white people do it too, that's white supremacy. Just because white people do it too doesn't make it right. Now, a lot of people say, well, what about this case? Or what about that case? Or what about Rick Chow? People love to bring in other cases when they know the guy they're defending is guilty. Okay, let's bring in extenuating circumstances in the form of another case that aren't in this case to make a case for the guilty party. XYZ case, gentlemen, has nothing to do with this case. And if you want to cite precedents in other cases, the circumstances have to be similar and almost identical for the precedent to apply. There we go. I want to make myself a little bit bigger. Okay. And if there were case law that set precedent for a student being found not guilty of stabbing another student at a track meet under similar circumstances, then the defense would have most definitely cited it during the trial. Now, that brings up, well, the defense was incompetent, like this GOAT debater says. Now, that proves that the defense was incompetent if they didn't bring up any works cited or any other cases. And to that, I would ask one very simple question and make one very simple statement. My question would be, find me the case with similar circumstances and an acquittal. And my statement would be, any defense team would have looked incompetent given the insurmountable evidence stacked against Carmelo Anthony. Okay, I would also agree that this is exactly the reason why Dominique Alexander and Carmelo Anthony's parents decided to go with a cheaper lawyer. They knew Carmelo Anthony was guilty, which means they also knew that no matter what lawyer they hired, that lawyer was going to be made to look foolish. So in their minds, why pay $500,000 for a conviction when they can just pay $75,000 and pocket the rest? And Fatty, you're not the only one who came with videos. Take a look at Dominique.
Donovan, we're not able to hear you.
Yeah, you're muted.
Never mind. I'm sure everybody. Sorry about that. I'm sure.
Can you explain what he said on the video, please? It's fine. I'll.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. What he said on the video is that he asked a black attorney how much, and then he asked Mike Howard how much. The black attorney told him $500,000. It's $200,000 retainer, and then he said, "Well, the white man told me $75,000," and then his body language said the rest. Another argument, and let me know how I'm on time, Glenn, because I can stop at any time. I couldn't hear you. It looks like you said
45 seconds. 45 seconds.
Okay. All right, very good. And then last thing I'll point out is a lot of people say, well, they knew karate, they knew jujitsu. Well, that's actually a good thing because that is what people actually call self-defense. Carmelo Anthony didn't know karate. He didn't know jujitsu. And this is why he pulled out a knife when he got into a confrontation. Austin Metcalf was prepared to defend himself because he was trained in karate, which is literally branded as a form of self-defense. Had Carmelo Anthony known karate, jiu-jitsu, boxing, wrestling, anything, he would not have felt the need to pull out a knife after he was pushed. So the fact that Carmelo Anthony... Okay.
Sorry about that. That was time.
No, you're good. That's fine.
Okay. Fatty?
Thank you very much.
Time starts when you start talking, sir.
Thank you very much for having me, Glenn. I'm Team Fatty from the Untouchable Empire. I've been challenged by a person that used to be a great content creator, but unfortunately, we're not seeing eye to eye on these. So we're going to have fun. He's not going to be able to prove nothing. He's going to stick on one person on the panel when there was 9 people on the panel that actually debated. And I'm going to show how much of a hypocrite and how much of a race baiter he is. Okay. If you have your videos, be ready. I just want to make sure that I hold you accountable by the things that you've been saying about us, because nobody react to you. Nobody had a conversation about you. So you wanted smoke. Now you're going to get exactly what you wanted. Okay. So let's see if I embarrass you a little or if I embarrass you a lot. I reclaim. You guys can get the time now.
All right. With that being said, I am going to open it for back and forth or 10 minutes each Q&A. Donovan, you opened, so I'm going to give it to Fatty to start with this Q&A. Fatty, you have 10 minutes to go ahead and interrogate Donovan on his position.
Sure. So first, I want you to bring this image, please, and put it full screen. Donovan, can you identify on the screen who are the racist people here? Okay, identify them. This is the whole full panel. Andrew, Sage, Goat, King Riches, Dr. Ilkan Ali, Mr. Fantastic, Smell the Roses, Myron, and Fatty. Can you point? This is a witness stance, okay? We didn't saw the show. You are going to point out and you are going to tell us who were the people on this panel that said that Carmelo was innocent because they were racist. Your claim. Go ahead.
Now you're going to. So what you're asking me is, see, you're asking for something that's impossible. You're asking me to identify the panelists that said out of their mouth the reason why I think Carmelo Anthony is innocent is because I'm racist. That is, dude, that is as disingenuous as anything. Come on. No one is going to say, I think Carmelo Anthony is innocent because he's racist. Try again, sir. Oh, now here's one thing before you go. But that being said, I will actually point out 3 racist people on your panel. Number 1 is this GOAT debater. Number 2 is Dr. Ilkan Alani. And number 3 is Myron Gaines. He's racist against niggas.
Sure. So I will allow educated guess, right? And Dr. Ilkan Ali is only a doctor because he's a play on words on Cheyenne Bryan. He's a joke. She's a doctor, and we all are doctors now, right?
I remember that lady.
It's just a joke. Can you tell us what did Ilkan Ali said that was actually showed that he's racist towards white people? That's why he actually think about it. Matter of fact, can you show me anything that Ilkan Ali said that said Carmelo Anthony is innocent? Can you produce any evidence? You had 2 weeks to do it. Can you produce any evidence that he said Carmelo Anthony is innocent?
Just because someone doesn't say out of their mouths that Carmelo Anthony is innocent does not mean that they don't think he is innocent. It was clear to me and everyone watching that based on their talking points, based on their characterization of things, based on their overall points, it was clear to me that they were racist. And the reason why I say that they were racist is because they, of course, are talking about things from a subjective from a subjective point of view. So they don't have to say, well, I believe Carmelo Anthony is innocent for us to know just based on what they're saying, contextual clues and everything like that, that they thought he was innocent. They didn't have to say, I thought he was innocent, number one. Number two, if I'm not mistaken, GOAT debater himself actually called Carmelo Anthony the innocent party. He called him.
There was not the question. I reclaim my time. That was not the question. He's going out away from my question. That was not
okay. Okay.
I reclaim my time. That was not the question. The question was, what did Ali say? Even if you do an educated guess, right? Imply. You can paraphrase him, whatever. What did he say that you are making assumptions about him being racist and that Carmelo is innocent? Can you please produce evidence? This is a debate. Please produce evidence about your accusations, please.
Yeah, I can't produce evidence. Again, this is all based on. I mean, listen, you can laugh if you want to, but everyone watching knows really what this is. Just because, hold on, let me finish.
No, you're not going to answer the question. No, I already got you. You don't have it.
Told you.
No, this is my time. This is my Q&A.
So let him answer the question. He answered the question.
He said, I know. I can't.
Okay, so then go back to your question. Do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, because he's wasting time. I have 10 minutes. If he doesn't have the answer, it's fine. So in 10 people on the panel, he only have evidence of one. And we gave him that. I just want to point to the crowd of 10 people on the panel. He has only evidence of once, and that person, we actually stopped them from being racist. Every time they said something about Andrew being a white boy and all that, we stopped them. This man is like me coming here, and Glenn as a one white supremacist man on the panel, and I go to my people and say, oh, all of those people on Glenn panel are white supremacists because there was one guy there that was racist, right? So I have evidence that for now you are lying. I would expect that the majority of my panel actually was racist, and you pointed out one, right?
Patty, you're running out of time for your questions.
My follow-up question, I have two questions, and it's very quickly, is Donovan, you are a racist. You are a known racist. What is the problem with people being racist when you clearly are known to be a racist? And please let me play clip number 1. Is edited for YouTube guidelines. I want to know what is the problem with him being racist since Donovan is known a known racist. Please play the video.
That's hella weird. Niggas are. I'll say it. That's exactly what that's exactly what preach is. Yeah, preach. I called you a and I'm not walking that back. You are an you don't even sound like a human. Retract that. You have a problem with it? You can come and see me, bro. You can come and see me.
So I don't understand a man that is a known racist. What is the problem with other people being racist too? Ted should be your best friend. You are racist every day, all day. Why do you have a problem with this man being racist? And Glenn, I just want to ask a question. Am I going to
can you hold on? You asked the question. Can you answer the question?
No, it's just to you. Am I going to be able to play any video to the duration? Because I have one less more. Like
yeah, but you have 4 minutes, but we have to let him answer the question.
That's perfect. Go ahead.
So let him answer the question first.
Yeah, I never said that there was anything wrong with being a racist. I merely pointed out your assertion was that everybody on your panel said that Carmelo Anthony was guilty and that nobody thought he was innocent. And I told you that there was at least one person, and now I believe there's two people, Dr. Ilkan Ilani. They're telling everyone they think he is innocent, and I believe it's because they are racist. Now, if that's the reason, there's nothing wrong with that. I never said, hey, these guys are racist, and I have a problem with it. No, because I'm racist against niggas. Yes, absolutely. I will come on here and say, yes, I am racist against the subculture of African Americans in this subculture who are giving people like me a bad name. So if you want to call me a racist, call me a racist. I'm a racist against niggas. I don't think there's anything wrong with being racist. If that's what you want to be, that's what you want to be. And I've also said this, calling someone the N-word is not against the law. Reprehensible as it may be, it is, listen, your freedom to express whatever you want is guaranteed under the First Amendment. So yeah, listen, you got me there. There's nothing wrong with being a racist. I never said there was anything wrong with anyone being a racist. I merely pointed out the fact that I believe that Dr. Ilkan Ilani and this GOAT debater are racist.
All right, so we have 2 minutes and 45 seconds left.
Yes.
Your
I
next
want to point to the crowd real quick that all the accusations that this man made was that we were racist when he is actually admitted it racist. So he's clearly a hypocritical man and he's inconsistent, because if you can do judgments based on your racism, TES exclusives can do it too. You still didn't prove. Once again, I gave you one person. You are lying. I didn't say everybody. I reclaimed that and I said, okay, I will give you TES exclusive, the GOAT. You are going to tell me what everybody else actually was racist, and you can produce. So in 9 people, you still are done. Last question, and this is, I said I was going to play videos about people on the panel. So I have one video for the people on the panel. Please pull up. Since we're talking about TES, I want to talk about quick questions. You call Carmelo Anthony a coward for not fighting one-on-one with the dude with his fists. Is Myron Gaines a coward for pulling a gun to somebody that wanted to fight him physically? And the second part is, if you believe that Carmelo Anthony, for pulling a knife to somebody that wanted to fight him, deserves the death penalty or the life in prison or whatever, if Allende attacked Myron, should he get the death penalty for shooting him in a state where you have stand your ground laws, just like you have in Texas? 2 questions. Is Myron a coward? And if he shot Allende that was fighting him physically, should he spend his life in jail or the death penalty like you're pushing for Carmelo?
Okay, number one, I was not pushing for the death penalty for Carmelo because I knew that Carmelo was a minor when he committed the crime. And in the state of Texas, the death penalty does not apply when you commit the crime as a minor, number one. Number two, your second question was the whole Allende thing. Those are different circumstances. So let's just play this out. Let's say Allende comes in and attacks Myron, and Myron puts a couple of slugs in him. That's not cowardly.
He's not answering my question.
You going to let me finish?
You didn't, and you didn't answer the first question either.
What was
you are wasting your time.
Hold on, the timer's already over. I'm getting.
Let's do
real quick, you Donovan.
Ask me one question at a time.
Real quick.
How about that?
Patty, your time already expired. I'm going to have Donovan answer the question.
That's
okay.
Yes, but Glenn, I get it.
Listen, Glenn, let me be specific. Glenn, I will give the time to Fatty. Fatty, just ask me one question at a time, and I will
one question at a time.
Yes.
So what did you wanted for Carmelo? What you wanted for Carmelo?
Life in prison without the possibility.
Okay. Should Myron Gaines, if he did the same thing and responded with a gun to a physical threat, should he take life in prison like you wanted for Carmelo Anthony?
No, because the circumstances are not the same.
Okay, so now we're going to ask the second question. Now you can put you can actually do it. You called him a coward. Is Myron Gaines a coward? Answer my question first, and then you can expound how the situation is different and all that, and I concede my time.
Okay. No, Myron Gaines is not a coward. And the reason why he would not be a coward is because the circumstances are different. Myron Gaines didn't shoot anybody. Myron Gaines didn't stab anybody. Carmelo Anthony did stab somebody, number one. Number two, the stand your ground laws, that applies to Florida. Myron was in his domicile. And for those of you watching, your domicile means your home. Carmelo Anthony wasn't at home. Okay, the stand your ground laws apply when you are on your own property. Listen, you can be as demonstrative as you want to. That's where the stand your ground laws apply. Carmelo Anthony stabbed and killed someone. That's why he's in prison. If Myron Gaines had pew-pewed Allende, number one, he would not have been a coward. And number two, there is no jury in Dade County that would have found him not guilty because he acted clearly in self-defense as the stand your ground laws in Florida dictates.
Hey, Glenn, did you watch the video?
By the way, real quick, the reason why, Fatty, the reason why I killed my stream on my side is because I don't trust Auburn Preach. I saw that there was Auburn Preach stuff, and I know that they don't like me. That's my reason. So now it's all in. Well, listen, you should know that I killed my stream. So now hold on. This is a road game. There's not my audience. My audience can be in here. I don't have any powers to boot people out. So there you go.
Well, here's the thing. It's on my stream, and my stream's gonna be public.
Everybody can come here. It's fine. Glenn, what's the video that I show of Myron in his house or on the streets?
So, okay, you're showing the video when this is post interaction.
No,
and they're on the street.
No, there's two circumstances. One,
right? The one goes to the studio. Hold on. Let me just play this one.
So we have extra witness. Yeah, facts.
This is him on the street. right? That is him on the street.
Yes,
Post
no, it's not
confrontation.
post. No, so he's talking about the situation that everybody saw on the studio where he kicked the
Yeah.
door and said, "Come on in."
Yeah,
It's
that
totally
isn't that
fine.
post confrontation?
Now, this is another situation that happened where Allende sees Myron on the streets and he tries to confront him. And Myron pulls
I'm not aware of.
no,
I'm not
but
aware of that
that's why I
situation.
showed the video. And Myron pulls his gun, and McQueen is literally saying, "This man was coming at us," and Myron pulled the blicky on them. So he actually saying it, right? It was a physical confrontation, and Myron pulled the gun. For whatever reason, Donovan looks like he doesn't understand hypotheticals. Hypotheticals mean if something happens, what will be your reaction? You saying that Myron didn't do it is not going to exonerate him from nothing because he was stopped. Allende stopped. But if Allende actually put his hands on him, just like Mr. Metcalf put his hands on Carmelo, I wanted to know if there would be justification to actually put him in jail for life because he's defending himself. Now that I got that out of the way, you can do your Q&A.
Okay, so now,
listen.
so then now we got that
inconsistent
clarified.
already.
Now we got
Fatty,
that clarified.
Fatty, hold on. There's nothing clarified. Fatty, with all due respect, I don't know what Myron Gaines has to do with Carmelo Anthony. Again, two different circumstances, two different states, two different. No, hold on. Now you're not going to cut me off.
You asked the question, right?
Hold on.
No,
He's clarifying the statement, Fatty. Let him talk. Let you talk.
And again, we're not going to talk about the ad homs in the beginning. I'm just going to let that slide because that's just not what I'm going to do. It is what it is, right? You're talking about two different situations in two different states involving two different people on each side. Yeah, we can deal with hypotheticals all we want to, okay? And that's fine. But what happened at the Frisco ISD was not a hypothetical. What happened at that track meet actually happened in real life. Austin Metcalf confronted Carmelo Anthony. Austin Metcalf pushed Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf. Austin Metcalf bled to death at the stadium. Carmelo Anthony was found guilty of first-degree murder. Now, in terms of answering your question, would Myron have been a coward if somebody attacked him and he pulled a blick on him? My answer would be no. For the same reason why you guys think that Carmelo Anthony should have been acquitted, even though nobody died in Myron's hypothetical case. Thank you.
He's lying.
All right, so we're going to move on to the 10-minute where now Donovan gets to interrogate Fatty.
Oh, I didn't really. Well, I tell you what. I would actually like to use my 10 minutes to have Dr. Ilkan Ilani and this GOAT debater come up and tell me what.
After the show. No, after the show. I'm here.
We can do that. We can do that. Donovan, we can do that. The
I lied
post.
about. What did I lie about?
I'm here. Don't be scared now.
If you want, hold on. Let me talk. Donovan, if you want to concede your time to Fatty asking you 10 more questions, 10 minutes of questions, or
yeah, I'll concede.
Or I could ask both of you 10 minutes of questions.
Yes. Let me just make a statement, Glenn, and then you can whatever you want because we need to feel a bit.
I will engage in 10 minutes of question after you ask this question, Fatty.
Yes. No,
and then we're gonna go, but it's gonna be one question, gotta be quick, so I can get into the question time, okay?
Sure. So Donovan, what is my opinion about the case? Because you keep telling that people said that he was innocent, right? I didn't hear that. I ran the transcript. I asked people. I check one by one. I saw Tez saying that he thinks he should get away scot-free. So I'm going to ask Donovan Sharp. I'm the host of the show. What was my opinion about the verdict? Did I think he should get the death penalty? He should be free. He should go. Like, what did I say, Donovan? Can you repeat my position to myself?
Yeah, if you would repeat what I said I would do.
Can you repeat my position? What did I think I thought for 3 hours about the situation? You accuse me on my panel of being racist. Can you identify what did I say? If Carmelo Anthony was innocent, guilty, he should get the death penalty. What was my position since I'm a racist like everybody else? Can you identify that, please?
I never said that Fatty is a racist like everybody else. I never said that your entire panel was racist. You said to me, and I'm again responding to what you said when you came onto my show. You said, Donovan, you're reacting to the wrong thing. Nobody thought he was guilty. Everybody thought he was innocent. And I said, well, you have at least one person who thinks he's innocent. And now that you have seen and your common sense is now coming to you, now you're going to concede that. But because now you know
on.
that you've been defeated. Hold on. Now you're going to let me finish. Now that you know that you've been defeated on that, now that you know that GOAT debater is a racist, and now that you know he does think Carmelo Anthony is guilty, you are attempting to shift the goalpost to you. I never said anything. I never said that you, Fatty, was a racist. I might have said some other stuff that were ad hominem attacks, and that's fine. But I never said that you were racist.
Okay.
All right. With that being said, I'm going to go to questions.
Glenn,
I got to go
Glenn,
to the
I have to
question.
defend myself, Glenn, because he's lying again.
Hold on.
No, Glenn.
Hold on. You asked him a question.
It's going to be
You
10
asked him
seconds.
a question, he answered the question. So
No,
let me go into
Glenn,
your
because
question
he's
part.
lying. Like he's lying, Glenn.
Let me ask questions that can expose whether someone's lying or not. Okay.
Hey, Glenn.
Let me do my job.
Can you please let the debaters debate for what? Is a
I have
30-second, Glenn, is a 30-second remark. It's not going to hurt nobody.
First it's 10 seconds, now it's 30.
No, I'll say it in 10 seconds. And I'm sorry, Glenn.
Go ahead.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Give him 30 seconds. That's it.
Yes, I apologize once again, Glenn. I know it's your show. I apologize. So he is lying. He's saying that I only am retracting my message because I was going to debate him, and now I don't want to be caught. Andrew Wilson was on my show the next day after that, and I was talking about him being racist, and I said, yes, Taz thought he was innocent, and Taz is racist. That's exactly what I said. So stop lying about me. I'm not running from Taz is racist,
Okay.
and I said that before.
Now we're moving to the questions. I'm going to ask you guys questions.
Hold on, Glenn. Hold on. Now hold on. Now he made another accusation. Now let me respond. Okay. I didn't know until right now that you finally admitted that Taz was racist. I don't watch you, dude. I don't watch you. No, listen. You look, bruh. You can sit here and you didn't admit. You admitted Taz was racist after. Can you mute him, Glenn, so I can properly answer this question?
I'll mute myself.
No. Hold on. At the time you came up to my show, that was the time to concede. And the thing is, Fatty, is I was willing to have an open and honest discussion with you if you admitted at the time the objective truth that Taz was indeed racist and that he thought Carmelo was innocent. You would not concede that. So what you decided to do is that you decided to have Taz come up the very next day. I don't watch you. I don't watch you. I don't watch anybody. I watched that one show because Myron was on it. I don't watch you. And so you think that by having him on the next day and saying, well, Taz says that he's not racist and that, no, I'm sorry. You can call me a liar if you want to. I didn't know that that's what he said until after the fact. No, you acknowledge the truth after you figured out what the truth was. Nice try.
Okay, I'm going to go into questions now. So, Fatty, would you have a problem with the verdict or anything if it was two people of the same race?
I don't have a problem with the verdict now.
Okay.
I just believe that is confusing, that the situation on the state of then find out for whatever reason, all of a sudden people don't believe in self-defense, people don't believe in escalating situations, people don't believe in nothing. That's why I showed Myron video, because if Myron blessed that motherfucker from trying to come at him, I believe that Donovan and everybody would say that self-defense, even though he escalated the situation from ends to literally a gun, which is the most lethal you can carry. For whatever reason, people would say self-defense because he has the right to defend himself.
Okay.
But Carmelo Anthony doesn't have the right as a 17-year-old from doing it. I think he should go to jail. I think he's guilty. I think Donovan is full of shit. He doesn't even know our positions. It's just that for whatever reason, y'all pretending that me saying guilty, but the death penalty is too much, is me being racist because I don't want the 17-year-old kid that was defending himself to go to jail or to die or to be in jail forever. That's ridiculous.
All right, so let me ask Donovan a question. Donovan,
question.
here's my question to you. The use of force matrix, when you are engaging in a confrontation with somebody, do you get the right to jump to lethal force based on your observation of the situation?
No, and this is the reason why. Glenn, that the laws are. How can I put this? This is why the laws are subjective, right? A lot of people like to say, well, he felt threatened. Okay. Laws aren't based on feelings, right? I can say anything I want. Well, I was afraid. That's why I took out a bazooka and blew the guy away. And the reason for that is because feelings are subjective. And what that means is that based on personal feelings, opinions, interpretations, or individual perspectives, rather than on provable external facts. So for example, let's say two people take a sip from the same cup of coffee. One person says it's too hot, the other person says it's not hot enough. That is subjective. Even if they both agree that it was too hot or not hot enough, it is still subjective because it is based on their personal feelings. However, if someone says that the cup of coffee was brewed at 200 degrees Fahrenheit, that is an objective fact. You can't argue with that. It's 200 degrees, whether you think it's hot or not. So to bring this back around to the Carmelo case, the laws don't rely on subjectivity because people can and will be dishonest about how they feel in any given situation in order to justify their actions. Carmelo could say that he was scared or afraid, but that doesn't mean that he actually was. And this is why we have trials. Trials use objective facts to decipher the level of subjective fear to determine whether or not the fear was justified. And for self-defense to be successfully proven, then the defense has to prove beyond all reasonable doubt that Carmelo Anthony was indeed in fear for his life. But based on the objective facts of the case and the eyewitness testimony, the jury clearly did not believe that Carmelo Anthony clearly feared for his life because, number one, he never actually did say he feared for his life. And number two, because 21 eyewitnesses testified that Carmelo Anthony verbally escalated the situation by telling Austin, your team is ass. Touch me and see what happens. If you want me to be gone, you have to come and move me. Whatever you believe that means. The jury believed that the words that came out of Carmelo Anthony's own mouth, and according to eyewitnesses, clearly showed that he was not in fear for his life. And that is why they convicted him of first-degree murder. If the legal system used a person's subjective feelings as a justified reason for committing a crime, then no one would ever get convicted because they could just lie and say whatever they have to in order to justify their actions. And this is why the laws on the books are based on objective facts that can be proven to be true or not. There was clearly enough evidence to prove the objective fact that Austin Metcalf died because he was stabbed by Carmelo Anthony. But there was not enough evidence to prove that Carmelo Anthony genuinely feared for his life. And that is why he's sitting in prison today. So when we say he was afraid for his life, my response is prove it, which is something the defense was not able to do.
Hey, Glenn, thank you for winning my debate. You won the debate for me, Glenn. You won the debate for me. Everything he said happened on the Myron situation when he was outside.
Well, this is where I'm going to actually, this is where I'm bouncing it back to you, Fatty. With that being said, I don't know the Myron situation at all at hand, to be honest with you.
I show you the video.
I know you showed me the video. I'm not personally.
You know now.
I know of it I don't know the full context of it. I didn't see it. So I don't have all the details. So I'm just going to speculate here. But with that being said, how does the stand your ground law, you think if because this is what it is, the guy came to Myron was, the circumstances are completely different. Myron is in a place, because Myron is in a place that he was allowed to be in, right? He wasn't in someone else's tent. Well, it's context. Context does matter, right?
Is irrelevant because he wasn't breaking the law. Like he said, feelings like school rules. He had the right to be there. He was not breaking no law. And the person that actually should remove him from the tent is an educator, a coach, or a person of power, not another student. So when the student decided to do,
hold on, let me explain. I'm just trying to get the concept here because the contexts are completely different situations. And I want if you're gonna put them both in the same context,
sure,
then you have to argue that context. So let's say Myron is invited someplace,
sure,
right? And it was whoever's group's tent, right? Guy pushes Myron, get out of here, don't want you here.
Sure.
Myron pulls out the gun to defend himself.
Sure.
Are you saying that Myron at that point is guilty, just as Carmelo's guilty?
I think Myron should go to jail. He shouldn't get the death penalty or shouldn't get the life in jail because once again we believe in Texas and in Florida, and we see case after case after case that people escalate situations and defend themselves and they get off scot-free. If Myron was on a tent, and that tent, once again, is not a building with closed doors. It's not the institution. Somebody has to come in and remove the kid. Once Metcalf decided to take by his own hands to remove the kid, he becomes...
Now let me volley the question back to Donovan. Donovan, if the context is the same, Myron asked to leave hypothetically and under a tent. that's not he was invited, and he
Yes.
pulled out a strap
Mhm.
and he lights someone up.
Yep.
Would Myron belong in prison?
Yes, he'd be guilty as sin, and Myron would tell you that.
Live in jail?
I think
Yes, yes,
Not live in jail?
yes,
So- no, so-
life in prison without the possibility of parole. Absolutely.
So just to make sure, the only difference is that
Is the context.
Marwan was on the street and and Carmelo was in a tent that doesn't have doors, doesn't have nothing. It's just on a school property on the stands. That's the only difference, right?
No. The only difference in this situation is that in the real situation, someone was dead. Myron didn't kill anybody.
It's an
That's the
hypothetical.
difference.
No, you don't understand hypotheticals. Hypotheticals is if something happened, would you maintain the same stance? And I'm not racist because let me land on that.
Yes,
I'm not racist because
what do you want? Do you hear what? Look, I said he'd be guilty. What more do you want from me? Yes,
no, it's because we have to, sir. We're talking about if this is racism or not. And what I'm saying once again is, I would have the same opinion if it happened on the other way. If Metcalf was on a tent that he was not his because it's raining, and a black kid came in and put his hands on him and all that, and he stabbed him once. If Carmelo did it more, hey man, throw the key away. That's actually show that you wanted to arm him. But if the white kid that do the black kid, me and my panel, I'm not going to say, oh no, let's no. You are going to have to pay because I don't want to live on a society where a shove or whatever is equal to me ending your life. Right, like I said, you are wrong.
Hold on. Well, hold on, Fatty. Can I respond to this, Glenn? Fatty, you literally made my point for me. I don't want to live in a society where a shove means that you get to get stabbed to death. If Austin Metcalf, let's just reverse everything. Let's just say Austin Metcalf did exactly what Carmelo Anthony did and stabbed Carmelo Anthony. Austin Metcalf's white ass would deserve to rot in prison. Sure. Period. And so I guess to answer Glenn's first question is if you remove the races, if you reverse, it doesn't matter what the race is here. It doesn't matter if Carmelo Anthony were black, white, Mexican, Hispanic. It does not matter. He would still have been found guilty of first-degree murder. And you just sat here and said that, well, my panel wouldn't have said that he was guilty or not guilty. That's exactly what I was saying. You literally proved my point for me.
No, what was the point that was proven again? Can you repeat it again?
My point was that if the races were reversed, I would still think that Austin Metcalf were guilty. That has nothing to do with race.
Isn't that your accusation that Fatty and his panel are racist?
I never said that Fatty and his panel are racist. Dr. Ilkan Alani is a racist, and Goat Debater is racist. That does not.
Glenn, can you repeat the prompt to the people, please? So I can make sure. Can you repeat the prompt?
Yes, the prompt is Fatty and his panelists accused of racism over Carmelo verdict.
So, and I double check and triple check the prompt to make sure that everybody understood what's going on. And now you're lying because you said Fatty and his panelists are racist. You couldn't prove that Ali.
Fatty and his panelists.
You couldn't prove that Ali was racist.
Mind you, I'm the one that created the prompt. So was it Donovan that made the prompt?
No, but he agreed upon, right? Did he agree upon?
Yes, this is agreed upon.
If he agreed the prompt.
So if I agree on the prompt, then that means that's as good as the words coming out of my mouth.
No, is what
that's literally what you're saying, but that's okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. That this is why you are not coherent. You didn't do your homework. You have no idea what we're doing here. You don't know my position. You don't know my panel's position.
Timer is up for the 10 minutes of the Q&A that I took over for Donovan. All right.
I have a question for him.
Hold on. I'm now moving to the open panel, 20 minutes, where you guys can go back and forth. I will mute if people start interrupting. Okay. I'm not going to do this. I want you guys to be able to get the entire thought out. Fatty and Donovan, this is both a warning to you guys. Do not talk over each other. Keep your responses or questions short so the other person can answer and interject. Okay?
Sure. Okay. So my question is, what do you think about the Chud the Builder situation? Do you think he should rot in jail?
What does Chud the Builder have to do with this?
I want to see if you are logically consistent. You said that the person shouldn't escalate and get a pew-pew or a knife if they were physically threatened. Chud the Builder not only was instigating people put hands on him. They didn't have the knife. They didn't have the gun. They didn't have nothing. So I want to ask you, if you are not racist, motherfucker, that keeps peddling racist people, I want to ask you, does Chud the Builder that initiated the situation is a person that is instigating and used lethal violence, shot 6 times to a person that didn't actually threaten his life, do you think that the builder should rot in jail, or you're going to be a sellout and say, change your opinion and say, nah, that's different? Go ahead, sir.
I have number one, I have never said that Chud the Builder is not guilty. Number one. Number two, I've actually said on my live stream, and I can find it for you for another debate. Just based on what I know, is Chud the Builder shot an unarmed man. If you shoot an unarmed man and your life was not in danger, Chud the Builder should be in prison for attempted murder. And I don't think the race doesn't matter. If Chud the Builder were Chud the Builder, and he shot some white dude or some Asian dude or some Mexican dude who was unarmed, who was just giving him static, yes, he deserves to be in prison. Of course he does.
Live in jail, right?
I don't know what Chud the Builder has to do with this situation.
Live in jail, right? He should rot in prison just like Carmelo and should get live in jail, right?
Well, wait a minute. Did Chud the Builder kill anybody?
Let's go. What is the number?
The question.
No. I'll answer. One second. He tried, so it's different charges.
He did not. Okay, attempted murder is very different from murder,
and it's fair. And it's fair.
Okay, so let me finish. Attempted murder. Okay, see, so Chud the Builder, I believe that he should be in prison for attempted murder. No question.
How many years?
If you. I don't know. I
mean, I think the standard minimum is the question. Like, hold on, let me get this correct. Are you asking him for how long he thinks Donovan Sharp thinks that Chud the Builder should serve in prison?
Yes.
Because Donovan Sharp has no say over the mandatory minimums that the court issued.
And Glenn, that's my point, right? So Glenn, you know why Donovan think we are racist? This is how the
because you are.
No, this is how.
I told you that he should be guilty. I just told you that he should.
Let me finish.
Hold on.
Not letting me finish.
Fatty, let Donovan finish, and then you come in.
Okay, number one, I just sat here and told you that based on what I know about the Chud the Builder situation, he should be guilty. Okay, that's not the answer that you wanted to get your gotcha, you're a racist moment. So now you switch to, okay, well, how many years should he get? I don't know what the penalty, and I don't even know what state the Chud the Builder thing happened in.
Tennessee.
Whatever. It was where?
Tennessee.
Okay, fine. If for attempted murder, I don't know, 25 years, I guess. Shooting an unarmed man, 25 years in prison, just based on my limited knowledge of the Chud the Builder case. So I told you, number one, I think he should definitely be in prison based on what I know. And number two, now that I know what the sentencing guidelines are, I think he should be put away for 25 years in prison. Fine.
Okay, so this is what this is relevant. And Glenn doesn't know it too, and the crowd doesn't know it too. That panel looked like we were defending Anthony and saying that he was innocent because Mr. Andrew Wilson himself was the first person to talk, and the first thing he said is they went light on him. He should get the death penalty. He should get the chair. So the whole show, the 3 hours of the show, other than Taz Exclusives, the GOAT, was never us saying that Carmelo is innocent, were us debating with Andrew if he should get the death penalty or not. The fact that I don't believe, just like Donovan, that somebody should get the death penalty doesn't mean that I think they're innocent. That was literally the point. Of the people on the panel, only one person in 9 people thought he was innocent. So we are all here because Donovan is an incompetent prick that didn't have the time to go and check the show to see if we actually believe that he's innocent or not. He is guilty. Ali said he's guilty. Everybody other than Taz said he's guilty. We just disagree with the premise that he deserved the death penalty. So now we fighting Andrew to understand what time should he get if he's live in jail, 35, 20, 70, 40. You defeated yourself once again for being incompetent. You got it.
Okay. Can I respond?
Yes.
Number one, now you are acknowledging that Taz was racist. You didn't acknowledge that Taz was racist and thought that Carmelo Anthony was innocent until after the fact. I gave you the perfect opportunity. And I even told you, I said, look, I do not mind having a discussion with you about this, but I needed to know if you were coming into that discussion in good faith. And coming into the discussion in good faith means that you can acknowledge an objective truth. You acknowledge that objective truth after the fact. You're not going to sit here and say, well, Taz said that yeah, he's racist. Well, I'm sorry. Where was all of that smoke? Where was all of that piss and wind when you actually had the chance to do it? And now you're going to sit here and act like I didn't do my research because I don't watch your podcast 24/7. My guy, I live an awesome life. I have a lot more things to do than to just watch you. You're going to let me finish. Okay? Like I said before, I told you that you said everybody on your panel thought he was innocent. Nobody thought he was guilty. I said Taz absolutely thought he was innocent, and I played it for you, and you still wouldn't acknowledge it.
So once again, you are lying. Please, just 18 hours before my show, I seated on a panel on a smoke show with Andrew Wilson, where I clearly stated that Taz was being racist. Matter of fact, during the show, I stopped. No, you're going to let me finish.
Was that
just even during the show, when Taz made a remark about him being a white boy, I clearly said, stop calling this man a white boy or we're going to wrap it up the show. Matter of fact, once again, Donovan, you are cut line because when I went to your show and I wanted to have the opportunity to express myself, because you said, I gave you the opportunity to say what you needed to say, you dropped me, you call me chimp, you call me the N-word, you call me so many names, and you drop me so many times that every time I open my mouth, I couldn't. And Glenn, you know I can prove it because he deleted the stream and he uploaded a video of saying, I'm chimping out on Fatty, and the whole video, and I can play it right here in front of you, is him interrupting me, cutting me off, dropping me, calling me names, because he couldn't let me explain what the hell I think about that. So once again, caught lying 2 times. I said that immediately after the show, and when I went to you to explain why I was not defending Carmelo, you literally didn't let me explain, and now you pretended that you did. You didn't, and there's video evidence of it. Call me a liar, and I'll play the video right in front of you.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, you want to do it?
Yeah, no, I don't care.
Hold on.
So I'm a liar.
Yeah, Fatty. Let Donovan talk.
Sure.
Donovan, go ahead and say what you were going to say.
Number one, yes, I did call you all those names, and I absolutely meant it.
So you let me talk?
No, he said he admitted to calling you all those names.
I appreciate it, but I need a very specific answer. You said you gave me the opportunity to come clean and to have the conversation and to say what I'm saying now. When I went to your show, Donovan, did you let me talk, or you muted me 72 times, dropped me, and literally kicked me? Like, what did you do?
74. Yeah, I muted you probably more than that, and yes, I did kick you from the show.
So you didn't give me the opportunity to talk, right?
I gave you the opportunity, but you were trying to talk about something else. And if you want to prove that, then play the video.
Totally fine. Can we play 1 minute? Just 1 minute, Glenn. It's just 1 minute.
I want to play from before the engagement, so I know what the context is, and then play until he drops you. Okay?
No, this is a 18-minute video, or me for 18 minutes. I'm trying to talk, Glenn. You know I can do it. I'll do this challenge, Glenn. This video, I can skip.
Right now, I mean,
let me finish, please.
Play the video. Let him.
No, I just want to explain how bad it is, so Glenn doesn't have to play the 18-minute video. Glenn, give me a random minute on a video on 18 minutes, and I guarantee you, no matter where we land, he's going to cut me off and drop me regardless. Any moment.
But for the audience, listen. For the audience to understand the context of the conversation, I want to play from the moment your guys' engagement starts. I will skim through it, and then we will play it at the end, so we can see the totality of the engagement.
And if you want to play the whole video, I don't want to do this. No, hold on, Fatty. I don't want it. No, hold on. No.
What is this?
Glenn, you got to let me talk. You got to let me
clarify. Well, yes, go on, Donovan.
Fatty, you just said I will pick any point in the video, and he did not let me talk. Okay? Fine. That doesn't mean that you didn't pick the specific points in the video where I didn't let you talk. How about we play the whole 18-minute video? Why not just do that?
Because
I can play it on 2 times speed. I will play it. Give me the 18-minute video. I will play it on 2 times speed.
He's already on the back. You can pull it up.
It's in the private chat. No, I want the private chat.
Just 1 second. No, it's because I'm sharing it.
Which one is it? Which one is it? Because I have screenshot.
No. Let me drop the rest of it, please.
Is this it right here?
Yes, let me
but-
let me take everything down. 1 second.
This
All
is
right,
the video that he's. I literally have the video up right here. This is the video that I have.
No, it's
Play it.
fine. I got
All
you.
right.
I got you.
Let's
Go
play
ahead.
it on
Play it.
2 times or 1.5 speed.
Yes, play the whole thing.
Hey, we can play it on 3 times. It's literally
No,
I
relevant.
want
Whole
1.5
thing.
speed.
1.5. Yes.
speed, and we're gonna let it play through
The whole
so the
thing.
audience has context.
So,
Go ahead.
So Glenn, just to make sure, he said he let me talk. I said I couldn't talk for 1 second until he dropped. Let's see who is lying.
Well, actually, Fatty, you said you didn't
Hold on, I
give
gotta
me 1
play
minute.
this. Oh, okay,
He
first
didn't give you 1 minute.
one
You just said 1
He's
second.
in a story. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's a little
What?
different.
Play the video. Just play the video.
Wait, wait, now what you're playing? What'd you say, Glenn?
It doesn't
A
matter.
minute ago, you said he didn't give you 1 minute, and then just right now, you said you didn't get 1 second to talk. I'm just clarifying.
Oh, so now hey, Glenn, do you believe that when I say give me a second is just a second, or you?
I'm just trying to clarify for the audience, okay?
No. When a person says give me a second, is literally 1 second, Glenn, and now you with me because you know when one person is 1 minute or 1 second is not literal, right? But I know English better than you.
We're making sure the audience knows we're
I just want to make sure that everybody knows that you try to.
Okay,
so let's keep playing. Let's play the video.
I respond to that. Let me quickly respond.
No, let me play the video. Let me play the video.
I need to respond to that because
let me play the video. You want me to play the video?
Patty, hold on. Give him 30 seconds, Patty. Go ahead.
Okay.
Is 30 seconds or 3 minutes?
Literally 30 seconds. I'm counting.
Oh, now you understand literally. Give him just 1 second. Give him just 1 second.
You got a second, Patty. You got your second? Donovan, you got your 30 seconds.
That's crazy.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yes, we all know that within the context of conversations, when someone says, give me a second, they don't wait a second and they say, okay, your second is done. I think the reason why you said this, and I'm not in your head, you can explain why or not. The reason why I understand why you did this, but you said he wouldn't even let me talk for 1 second. Now, I'll admit to this. Sometimes in my in things that I discuss, I will exaggerate for effect. I think what you meant to say, not that you meant that I actually didn't give you not 1 literal second to speak. What you were trying to imply was that I did not give you much time to speak. And so, but we can't be switching back and forth between figurative and literal, because you have a very bad habit of taking things literally when it suits you, but things figuratively when they don't. So listen, we can argue semantics all we want to.
Oh, Sherlock Holmes, you got it. Sherlock Holmes, you understood that he was not 1 second? Oh my God, you are Inspector Gadget. Look at you.
Can we play the video now?
Yeah, let's go.
Oh my, you have to explain that? That's crazy. Ooh,
I had to explain it because you were getting all upset as if
yes. And when I say break a leg, it's not good luck. I want you to break a leg, Donovan. I want you to go to the kitchen and fall and break a leg. That's what I mean. Idiot.
You're acting like you're in your holy moly. I'm up here chimping out. You know what? Actually, you want to know something? I think I'm chimping out too. You know what? I'm gonna play this for myself. This is like, oh, there he is. All right. You got talk to me.
I'm sorry for not being ready at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I don't give a dude, shut the with your excuses. What have you got to say, man? I'm not playing this. Is it?
I actually want to know what warrants you calling me and my panel a bunch of and the only was your friend acting like one. I wonder why we got the label without the behavior.
I told you you are.
Why?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
Why? Explain why.
Yeah. You guys are low IQ and you're defending the murder of Austin Metcalf. That's why you're. No. Shut the. Let me talk. You will talk when I'm done talking. Okay. Shut the. You ignorant. Sit around and you chip out with your fake doctor. And you want to sit here and talk about how Carmelo Anthony was justified in killing Austin Metcalf. That's what makes you a time zone you're in. Say what the you gotta say so I can get off my. Go on.
So first, Carmelo Anthony is guilty.
Yes,
nobody.
Hey, shut the when I'm talking. You. I know Carmelo Anthony's guilty. He was found guilty in a court of law.
Let me know when I can talk.
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
Honestly, dude,
my crowd can't hear me. Let me move this real quick for you. But we are on 1 minute and something.
Patty, just play the video.
No, sir. There's a debate going on. There's a debate. Sir, there's a debate going on. There's logistics going on. Wait a second.
Oh my God, this is incredible.
I already told you. Wait a second, please. You are a big boy. You can handle it.
What are you? Like, is there more video? We're gonna play the rest.
No,
of it.
there's more. There's more video. I just want to share. Well,
Video.
like I said, please give me.
Is
just
you're saying
one
your
second.
audience could not hear the video?
Yes,
Is that
that's
what-
why I was saying.
Okay, that's fine. We can wait. We can wait for the technical issues.
Yes, like I said, give me just 1 second so I can share the video so they can actually watch it. Thank you. Now we can do it.
And I happen to like Inspector Gadget, by the way. Very good cartoon. Dun 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 dun.
Wait, are those the Air Maxes in the background? The third row down?
Say what now?
Are those the Air Maxes in the background? Third row down to the right?
Why, yes, they are, Glenn. Good eye.
Okay.
I have quite the collection. I have quite the collection here today. I've got a couple of Jordans. I've got the Air Maxes. Man, Glenn, dude, that is a very good call, my friend. Wow. Wow. Okay.
You like
I like
Inspector
my
Gadget.
sneakers. I like my sneakers. All right.
You
Can we
like
go to play the
Inspector
video?
Gadget, but both of y'all are on the wrong side of the law. Let me play these real quick.
Yeah, that's why Carmelo's in prison.
Yes, and you are lucky that you're not
calling
there.
me and my panel a bunch of and the only was your friend acting like one. I wonder why we got the label without the behavior.
I told you you are.
Why?
I'm sorry, say that one more time. I didn't hear you.
Why? Explain why.
Oh, because,
without the-
Yeah. You guys are low IQ, and you're defending the murder of Austin Metcalf. That's why you're. No. Shut the. Let me talk. You will talk when I'm done talking. Okay. Shut the. You ignorant. Sit around and you chip out with your fake doctor, and want to sit here and talk about how Carmelo Anthony was justified in killing Austin Metcalf. That's what makes you a time zone you're in. Say what the I say so I can get on with my. Go on.
So first, Carmelo Anthony is guilty.
Yes,
nobody on that.
Yeah. Hey, shut up when I'm talking. You. I know Carmelo Anthony's guilty. He was found guilty. He was found guilty in a court of law.
Let me know when I can talk.
Yeah, right now.
Okay.
I think honestly, dude, honestly, dispense. Seriously, fatty, you're gonna dispense with all that small talk, underhanded. No, shut the up, and I will explain the rules to you. If you don't want to follow those rules, you can take your back to bed. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Go on.
Thank you very much for allowing me to talk. So nobody on that panel talked.
I told you no more of this disingenuous thank you. Shut the with the disingenuous thank yous, man. You know what? Actually, you want to know something? I think I'm chimping it.
By the way, just for concepts, he drops me.
Oh, now he. See.
No. I just want to point. No. I'm playing. No, I just want to
lay down the law
No,
here.
sir, no, sir.
You guys, play the video.
Sir,
Play the video.
Every time I get quiet, is Donovan dropping me? Everybody needs to know. Every time I play, every time he.
You're doing in filibuster while I'm talking because
So you are not dropping me every time you do it.
Play it.
Well-
I'm tipping out too. You know what? I'm gonna play this for myself. I'm gonna play this for
All
myself.
right,
You wanna know why?
all right.
Because I've been listening
Hold
to
on.
you for
You
a
guys-
year. And now,
guys-
admittedly, I do not remember. I do
Hold
not.
on. Stop. I need you guys to not interrupt and play the video in its entirety from beginning to end. Let's know more pauses. Let the audience get the context of the video. If anything needs to be explained after the video, then I will give you both an opportunity to explain after the video, but play the video in its entirety, please, and thank you.
I remember debating you. I really don't remember debating you. Do you remember debating me?
Yes.
Okay, what did we debate about? And I'm not being facetious. I genuinely, I really do not know.
It was on something racial too. I don't remember too. It was not.
Oh,
short.
okay, all right. Well, it was probably short. All right, go on.
Nobody on
So-
that panel
so-
thought it was in. Let me know when I can talk. I'm on my best behavior so I don't chimp out. Can you allow me to talk? Let me know when I can.
There you go. You can talk. You may speak.
You have no idea what you're reacting to. Nobody on that panel actually thought he was innocent. Everybody thought he was guilty. But-
Let me interrupt you there. No. Your guy goat thought he was innocent. What about him?
No.
Yes.
No,
No. Hold on. When Andrew Wilson asked him, "Would your opinion change even if he had a gun?" He said, "Nope." And then he said, "Yeah, Austin Metcalf deserved what he got." And then when Andrew asked him, when you asked him how many years he thought Carmelo Anthony should have got, well, I didn't think I thought he should have got 0 years. That to me, my friend, sounds like a person on your panel, if not more, that thought Carmelo was innocent. Please continue.
Everybody thought he was guilty. We just disagreed on the amount of time they would do. It looks like we.
What
are
about the guy
saying
who said
that-
0? What about the guy who said 0? I thought it deserved 0 time.
Donovan, you are a.
No. 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 Answer the question. You
I'm
told
answering
no. Stop talking. You said that everybody thought he was guilty. Okay. Then you said we disagreed on the amount of time. If a person on your panel says I don't think he should have got any time, that right there says that he thinks he's not guilty.
Let me know. It's my time to talk.
Go on.
a lot of people are guilty and they do
Here
no
we go.
time.
Here we go.
You know about this. A lot of people are considered guilty of doing something and they get no time. Andrew said that he should have the death penalty. All people on the panel thought he was guilty. We was just disagreeing on the laws and technicalities. If this is a murder, if this is manslaughter, if this is self-defense. So once again, we all thought he should do some time. 8 of us.
Except, don't you yell at me, don't you yell at me? What's wrong with you? I'm going to tell you one more time. That motherfucker thought Carmelo was innocent. That racist. You're not going to sit here and tell me that everybody thought he was guilty. That dude, the goat or whatever the is, trying to act like he was trying to talk like a lawyer. He thought Carmelo Anthony was not guilty. You are not going to sit here and tell me, that he thought Carmelo Anthony was guilty. 100%. No, I don't talk about nothing else. Talk about the GOAT. The GOAT thought Carmelo Anthony was innocent. Yes or no?
No, he said he was guilty. He's on the transcript. And why you focus on one person when you have 7 other people on the...
Yeah, because you said the reason why I'm focusing on one person is because you said everybody on my panel says that he's guilty. All we disagreed on was the time. Dude, you know what? Stay right there. I'm gonna pull that debate right back up.
Yes, interrupted, please. What do you think? 35 years was too much? Or
do you think 35 years was too much? This was your words, Fatty, not him.
Or you actually have a different idea?
Yeah, it's definitely too much. So I understand why he got 35 years. The inadequate defense that he was given is why he got 35 years. I'm actually of the belief that he shouldn't have got any time.
I'm actually of the belief that he shouldn't have gotten any time. What is your response to that, Fatty? Hold on. Your assertion was everyone on my panel thought he was guilty. And if you want to split, if you want to split hairs and talk about, well, what this meant, no. This dude literally, hold on, let me play it for you again, since this is some shit I like to do. I can't believe I don't remember debating.
I do believe is why he got 35 years. I'm actually of the belief that he shouldn't have got any time.
I'm actually of the belief that he shouldn't have gotten any time.
I do believe that as the innocent party just sitting there, the aggressor is the person that walked up to him. And
the innocent party sitting there, Fatty. The innocent party. He just said Austin Metcalf was the aggressor. He just characterized Carmelo Anthony as the innocent party. What about that tells you that he thinks Carmelo Anthony is guilty, sir?
Because during the debate of a 3-hour, he actually said, and once again, you are mischaracterizing his words, that he understands why he actually got 35 years.
Just because he said
he should be guilty, like you were guilty of committing a bunch of crimes, and you walk scot-free because for whatever reason, the legal system doesn't want you inside of the jail or of the prison. People are considered guilty all the time, and they get parole, and they get no time, and they get time off convict. Like, happens all the time.
Okay,
so what are you talking about?
So your assertion is that GOAT thinks he was guilty, but he shouldn't. So he should have been convicted of first-degree murder, but got no time. Is that what you're saying?
No, because he disagrees with the murder. That's the point.
And if he disagrees with the murder, that means he thinks he's not guilty. He literally just said, Fatty, the innocent party. Let me play it again for you. See, guys, this is why we say these motherfuckers are low IQ. Fatty, you think you're smart, bro? You're not smart, man. You're not slick, bro. This just said the innocent party. You are not going to sit here and tell me, listen, I'm going to play it for you one more time.
Famous also. Thank you very much once again. I hope y'all having fun. Support the content creators that y'all watching, respectively. Everyone in the chat. By the way, thank you very much.
And send your friends too.
Much for the kindness and appreciate it. Taz, uninterrupted, please. What do you think? 35 years was too much, or you actually have a different idea?
Yeah, it's definitely too much. So I understand why he got 35 years. The inadequate defense that he...
The reason why he said he understands why he got 35 years is because of the inadequate defense and not because of Carmelo's guilt. That's what he literally just said. I'm playing the recording for you. We can move on from this if you just acknowledge, hey, you know what? We had a panel of 8 people. 7 out of 8 thought he was guilty. Why are you calling us? Instead of acknowledging an objective truth, which I'm playing on the screen right now. No. You want to die? You want to die on this hill? No. He said he was guilty because in a 3-hour podcast he said he thinks he was guilty. I just played you right now. Listen again.
Was given is why he got 35 years. I'm actually of the belief.
There it is. The reason why he was given 35 years is because of the inadequate defense. Listen some more.
Got any time. I do believe that as the innocent party just sitting there. He just characterized Carmelo Anthony as the innocent party. What makes you think that he thinks Carmelo Anthony is guilty if he literally just called him the innocent party?
Sir, what he said was he was not guilty of murder. The defense, his case, and instead of going for lower charges as manslaughter, self-defense, whatever you want, he went for murder. So he might be guilty of something, but it's not murder because murder doesn't include self-defense.
You're absolutely right. But guess what? He just said he said he should have gotten no time. Okay, so if he was guilty of involuntary manslaughter or manslaughter, guess what? That still carries a sentence. Okay, so again, I knew you were going to do this. We're splitting. So listen, this man just sat here and said he should have gotten no time, and then characterized him as the innocent party. Like, dude, this guy GOAT thinks Carmelo is innocent. Like, I don't understand how you can't acknowledge this. Oh my God, guys, hold on, I gotta play this. Holy moly, I'm up here chipping out. Holy shit. Oh yeah. Go ahead, please respond.
Can I ask you a question?
No, you need to respond. You need to respond to this GOAT. Listen, you can ask me a question. You know what? I'm done. You're about here, bro. See, again. See, this is why we know we can't have. No. Let it keep playing because I explain here. Go on. You said you're going to play the whole 18 minutes. Let's hear the whole 18 minutes.
You kick me off the show after this is monologue.
Oh, yeah.
Hold on. I want to hear. We got to get.
Wait. No. The statement is Glenn Lawrence This man kept muting me, dropped me, and didn't let me explain or ask questions. Why do I have to play a 5-minute monologue about him saying something, Glenn Lawrence? Why?
Well, you said you had the whole video, and we said that we're going to put the whole
Because
video on
now,
your-
from now on, I was dropped. He kept dropping me during this conversation, and he dropped me. Why should I keep playing the rest of the video?
Hold on.
That's
hold on.
crazy. What are y'all
We
doing
said
exactly?
before we even played this video, you said it was 18 minutes long.
Hold up.
And I said play it at 1.5
Hey.
speed in its entirety. Everybody understood that from the beginning.
Why are we playing the video, Glenn? Just to make sure.
So we have the audience has context of what you were saying of him not letting you speak.
So now that I was dropped, and I was dropped 20 times during this time, why do we keep have to play in the video when I'm literally out of the studio?
Because we said before we even played the video that we were going to play the video in its entirety and at 1.5 speed. That's what was agreed upon.
Okay, so now so now he's going to have 5 minutes of monologue while I was kicked out of the studio, which makes no sense, but I'm going to play it.
If you had a timestamp, if you had a timestamp and said at 11:57, I want to end the video because after that he kicked me off. If you said that in the very beginning, we would have agreed to that. But
Glenn,
because you said you had the whole 18 minutes, and I said let's play the whole video so everybody.
You are right. You're right.
This is why we can't debate with these people. This is why I can't debate with these people. They cannot argue in good faith. They cannot argue in good faith. Okay? He did everything but admit that this up here thinks that Carmelo Anthony is innocent. All I wanted this dude to do was acknowledge that this right here, this was the one dude on the panel, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. This on the panel thinks that Carmelo Anthony is not. He literally said it. He literally called him the innocent party. And I guarantee you, Fatty, have him on. You know what? You want to prove me wrong, Fatty? Have him on again. You know what, Fatty? Yo, real. Hold on. I hope you ain't going nowhere. Fatty, hold on. I'm talking to you now. Look, you want to play this game? Let's play this. Fatty, I'm gonna tell you what. Because I know this ain't gonna happen. I know this shit ain't gonna happen. Because I got your little balls now, bro. I got your little balls now, bro. You want to prove me wrong? Have this here, have GOAT come up and say that he believes Carmelo Anthony was guilty of first-degree murder. If you do that, I will publicly apologize. If this right here, Tazar, whatever if this here straight up says, you know what? I was on the panel the other night. I think Carmelo Anthony is guilty of murder. Okay? And I'm not talking about by the letter of the law. I want to know what he thinks. I don't need him to give me, well, according to the court documents, he was found guilty. Yes, we know that. What I want to know is, does GOAT think that Carmelo Anthony should have been convicted? I guarantee you, he says no. And you know it, and he knows it. Like guys, this is what the talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Y'all. But Donovan chipped out. Yeah, you're right, chipped the out. This is what happens with these people. Why did Donovan chip out? Because you people don't listen. You people are low IQ, man. This stuff right here could not understand basic concepts. All he knows is that because Carmelo Anthony is black, he's going to back his man. That is low IQ behavior. And you're disingenuous. He said you did not watch the 3.5 hour. I didn't have to watch the 3.5 hour podcast. This right here thinks Carmelo Anthony should not have been convicted. If you get this camera right here to come on your show or my show, say, you know what? I think Carmelo Anthony should have been convicted of first degree, even manslaughter. No, this thinks that Carmelo Anthony should have walked. And that is my point. That is the point. That is absolutely the point. That's what I was trying to get at. You're going to try to come in here and tell me, well, everybody thought he was guilty. No, they didn't. And I know this. We all know he's guilty. We all know he's guilty because he was convicted. He will acknowledge that because that's what's on the record. Well, yeah, Carmelo Anthony's guilty. He got convicted. Okay. My question to him is, does he think he should have been convicted? I'm telling you right now, Fatty, this is no. Because he just sat here and said, I didn't think he should have got 0 years. Then he called it the innocent party. Let's play that again. Let's play that one more time. Unbelievable.
In the super chat.
Pull up and make all kinds of excuses about here.
Thank you very much for the kindness and appreciate it. Tess, uninterrupted, please. What do you think? 35 years was too much, or you actually have a different idea?
Yeah, it's definitely too much. So I understand why he got.
It's definitely too much. So now he says, I understand why he got 35 years. Okay? But his reason for understanding why he got 35 years does not have anything. It's not because he thinks Carmelo Anthony was guilty of first-degree murder. Why do you think he got 35 years?
35 years, the inadequate defense that he was given.
Thank you. The reason why he thinks, well, yeah, I understand why he got 35 years. It was because of the inadequate defense that he was given. He didn't say, well, yeah, I think 35. Look, I think he got 35 years because he was guilty of first-degree murder. No, he's blaming it on the defense. Let's listen further.
35 years. I'm actually of the belief that he shouldn't have got any time.
There it is. He shouldn't have got any time. So that takes manslaughter off the table. And then this dumb, right, well, you committed crimes and you did not go to jail. Yeah, that's right. I did. I've committed many crimes and no, I'm not in jail. No, you're right. I've committed many crimes. Absolutely. Dude, I'm not going to run from that. I've committed many crimes. I'm a 4-time convicted felon. I've been arrested like 30 some odd times. Guess what? That guilty and that gonna serve his time in prison. What? Yeah, I've committed crimes. What of it? I've committed crimes. Whatever. That still gonna serve every bit of that 35 years in prison.
I do believe that as the innocent party just sitting there, the
innocent party just sitting there. How about that?
aggressor is the person that walked up to him and put their hands on him.
See that?
And so if anything, he should be home free right now.
If anything, he should be home free right now. What about that statement tells you that he thinks Carmelo Anthony should have been convicted of first-degree murder? Get the out of here. These disingenuous every one of them, even this doctor. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable.
All right, go ahead and. So, with that being said, that's a whole video in its entirety. You said that he did not allow you speaking time. We'll let the audience decide that.
Can I?
There was a lot of interjection.
Can I tell you, Glenn? No, let's not let the audience decide. Let me tell you what happened. Glenn, you have to let me tell you what happened.
Go ahead.
Glenn, this man is on a full screen. You don't see me. You don't know what is going on. So every time I open my mouth, it dropped me. It doesn't look like that because it's on a full screen. But if you're on a full screen and I keep dropping you and dropping you and dropping you and dropping you and dropping you, nobody knows because they think I am the one being quiet. That's the point that I'm trying to explain. Every time I got into something, he would drop me and say, no, drop you. You don't know where you are. And now, please, Glenn, play the 7-second video that is down there. These are actually racist, both of them. Taz exclusive, shout out to Taz, and Myron, shout out to Myron. I think racist, both of them. Taz exclusive, shout out to Taz, and Myron, shout out to Myron. Both of them are actually racist, both of them. Taz exclusive, shout out to Taz, and Myron, shout out. Can you see what is on the back of that screen? Do you see? Yeah. This is good, right? Who is on that thumbnail, Glenn?
You got Myron, you, King, Dr.
Andrew Wilson, all that,
Andrew
right?
Wilson.
Sure.
I don't know who the other two.
So now this man is saying that I never said nothing, right? I am trying to escape from it now that I'm here and I'm trying to debate him and all that. Can you please get me the other one? This is my grid of shows. Yes. So as you can see, this is a smoke show I had with Andrew Wilson 2 weeks ago. I said my claim multiple times in multiple videos. This man is a liar. Right after the show, it was Andrew Wilson and Myron, and then on the next day, it was Ferry and Andrew Wilson, where I said, yes, Taz is racist. So I got him again. He's lying. And my last question to this motherfucking debate to Donovan. Donovan, please answer these, please. Donovan, answer, please, Donovan.
Yes.
If you are a self-admitted racist, if you support people that are racist like Myron and all these, what is the problem with Taz exclusives, the GOAT, being racist? Please explain to me. If you morally are racist and you support racists, what is the problem with this man being racist? Shouldn't you actually support him, be his best friend, and push him because he's racist just like you? What is the problem with him being racist when you are racist? Explain that to me.
There is nothing wrong with being a racist. I've never said that there was anything wrong with being a racist. And I said that when you asked the question the first time. There you go.
No, please, respectfully.
You just
please, respectfully. No, respectfully. You made a 2 week conundrum about us being racist. It was racist. It was on a negative. No, Donovan, you gave your piece, right? During these 2 weeks, everything you said was, these people are racist. Look at them being racist. Look at them being racist. These black people being racist. These black people being racist. Oh my God, can you believe that black people being racist? So you had a problem with Daz being racist and supporting Carmelo based on race. So now that we got it out of the way, because you did 2 shows about us, you did community posts about us, you call us chimps and all these things which is based on race. Why can you be racist and Miss Man Taz can be racist? Why is wrong for him to be racist, but it's right for you to be racist? Why is wrong?
Okay, Glenn. Okay, I will answer the question. Glenn, you need to mute him because I know he's going to.
I'm muting myself.
Okay. Number one, I will say again, there is nothing wrong with anyone being racist. Okay, you asked me the question the first time. I said there's nothing wrong with being racist. Here are my two problems. My problem was that you could not admit on that GOAT was a racist. You waited until after the live stream to say, okay, I'm going to do a video with GOAT. I'm going to do a video with me admitting that GOAT was a racist. You already had your chance, and that was with me. That's the first thing. The second thing is, while there's nothing wrong with being a racist, I do have a problem with somebody making a decision on a court case based on race. GOAT clearly is making his decision of the court based on race, but I'm not. I told you on this live stream that if Austin Metcalf himself had stabbed Carmelo Anthony under the same circumstances, that Austin Metcalf deserves to be in prison. I said, if Carmelo Anthony were Myron Gaines, only with a gun, and he did the exact same thing, Myron Gaines should absolutely rot in prison for the rest of his natural-born life. So yes, I am racist against niggas. There's nothing wrong with, there's not even anything wrong with being racist against white people. I've never said there was anything wrong with it. But just because I have a problem with somebody using race as their barometer in terms of someone's innocence or guilt does not mean that I think that they're wrong for being racist. No, it doesn't matter whether he's racist or not. The fact of the matter is that I believe that Taz's racist judgment, that's what's clouding his judgment in terms of claiming Carmelo's innocence. That's all I said.
Fatty, you're muted.
Yeah,
And hold on real quick. We're gonna go
now.
to you get to rebuttal. I'm saying this is now the closing argument.
Sure.
Then we're gonna go to opening the panel up after I ask you guys both a couple questions to clarify some things. But Fatty, go ahead. You get to have 5 minutes to make your closing statement, and that begins whenever you're ready, sir.
I won the debate. Donovan Sharp said he's not making a judgment based on race. He has nothing against black people. He has something against niggas. Donovan Sharp referred to this kid
Donovan,
as
please.
he referred to his kid as a nigga multiple times. He said that he was raised by the black community and he might come from every single thing that you put on this kid, you are referring to him as a nigga. So now we're going to do this, Donovan, okay? We are going to do this. Since you made all those statements and those videos are still up because I went through those videos, I'm not a motherfucking lazy motherfucker like you. You are going to tell me, didn't you refer to this man that killed him as a nigga? Because if you did, that actually shows correlation that if you only are racist against niggas and this kid is a nigga, you are using your bias against niggas to actually throw the book at him, when if he was just a black man, you will be more sympathetic and all that. Once again, why did you refer to this little kid as a nigga from the black community and all that? Why did you do that? And if yes, does that prove your bias since you have problems with niggas? Go ahead.
Okay, I have a problem.
Hold on, I just need to make sure, Fatty, are you conceding your time? Because this is your 5 minute closing.
I'm conceding my full time because one, I prove that he's a liar.
Okay, hold on. I just want to make sure. Let me just clarify.
I will
answer the question.
I will land my plan and then he can get whatever. So I can actually get the final statement. I prove this man is a liar by saying the panel was full of racists when he can't substantiate none of his argument other than Taz. I proved that I called Taz racist right after the show. He's lying about saying that I didn't do it. And he proved now that he is an inconsistent prick because he's okay with racism unless he's against other people. When he's against black people, this man is okay with racism as he full supported. But when he's racism against whatever group that he panders to so they can send him money, all of a sudden racism is a problem. So now I'm going to ask my question and concede my time. Once again, if you have problem with niggas and not black people, and you referred and talk crazy about Carmelo Anthony and how much of a he is, does that defeat your argument that you are not biased because you believe in this and this and that? If you are biased against niggas and you talk with that kid like he was a nigga, that prove that you are actually biased because you don't like niggas? Go ahead, sir, uninterrupted. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so the answer to the question is no. You did not prove your point. In the immortal words of Chris Rock, okay, there's a civil war going on in the black community, and it's against black people and niggas. I love black people. I love black people. it's niggas that I hate. So yes, I will sit here and admit, yeah, I called Carmelo Anthony a nigga. Yes, I will admit I called him a, and the reason why I called him a nigga is because he did some shit. That's why. I will absolutely positively stand by every word that I have ever said. Now, if you think that makes me racist, that's fine, because thankfully for me, I don't really give a you or people like you think. But people like me, we're tired of niggas like Carmelo Anthony giving black people like myself a bad name. And here's something else for you. You actually pointed this out. I used to be a nigga myself. I used to lose control. I used to get into fights. We all know I'm a 4-time convicted felon, been arrested like 30-something times, violent crimes, this and that and the other. Nothing with weapons or women. It was always like street fights and fist fights. But yeah, I admit that. But only when I had to, and I'll tell you what, the very last time I got in a fight, I actually thought I was going to prison. But the reason why I didn't go to prison is A, I had a very good lawyer, okay? And B, the reason I did not repeat offend is because I knew that was the last time I was going to get away with that. Now, there's no difference between me and Carmelo, because Carmelo didn't really know that he was going to kill Austin. Unfortunately, he did. But I can sit here and admit that lack of emotional control leads to bad things. That's the difference between a nigga and a black person. I will admit, I used to be a nigga, and at times, yeah, I can act like a nigga. I'm not going to run away from that, okay? But if you want to believe that black people like myself who are racist against niggas makes me a complete racist against all black people, then there's nothing I can do about that.
And Glenn, thank you very much. Glenn, thank you very much, Glenn. We're going to open the panel. Hey, Glenn,
Yep.
Donovan.
We're going to open. So now he's in control of the debate here, right?
No. That's what we agreed upon.
We agreed upon it. At this point, we're going to open the panel for questions. I'm going to first go through the chat to see if there's any super chats. If there's no super chats, then I'm going to drop the link on my channel and pin it on my channel and let you guys up one at a time. Now, let me clarify this to anybody that plans on coming up. All right. If you are not going to be discussing the topic at hand about the Carmelo verdict, Fatty and his panelists are racist, that was the topic, then we're not talking. I will drop you. Okay? If you're going to be ad homing, attacking any one of the debaters personally or myself, I will drop you. Okay? Make sure that's very clear. Now, with that being said, I want to clarify this question here that I have for both of you, and then I'm going to let the panel come up. One, are we saying that wanting justice by the letter of the law is racist if it favors one group or another?
No.
Because the principle of the law in the state of Texas, first-degree murder, right? The court said it met the threshold of first-degree murder. Are you saying the verdict is racist or wanting the individual to serve their time that they're being convicted of is racist? I want to get that clear from both of you guys. Is that what you're saying? Are you saying, Donovan, that because you referred to him as an N, that is blinding your verdict of him having to serve the time that he is convicted of?
No, I don't. I mean, oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking to me or?
It was the Donovan first and then the Fatty.
For who? For me.
That was for Donovan.
Huh.
Oh,
okay.
Okay. So no, the justice system wasn't racist. And when you have a verdict, like when you have a murder charge, okay, they go by the facts of the case. And again, this is what I explained, the difference between objective facts and subjective facts. An objective fact is that Carmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf in the chest. That is a fact. Another fact is that Austin Metcalf died as a result of his injuries inflicted upon him by Carmelo Anthony plunging the knife into his chest. That was a fact. The subjective facts were Carmelo Anthony felt like he was in danger. He felt like his life was in danger. The jury clearly did not believe that because they convicted him of first-degree murder. Now, there are a lot of people that have a problem with the sentence. I personally think it should have been longer. But if he serves all 35 years, I mean, I'm not gonna picket in the streets for that, So it is what it is.
Okay.
And again, let me make this clear. If it had been Austin Metcalf and he did the same thing to Carmelo Anthony, I think his sentence should have been 60 years. Whether Carmelo Anthony was black, white, Latino, Doesn't matter. I think he should have served 60 years in prison, but 35 is fine.
All right, Fatty. So based on the verdict, I asked this question before to other people. Now I was not a fan of the Zimmerman verdict. I thought Zimmerman should have served time. He disobeyed the dispatch officer's order for not engaging in with Carmelo or with Trayvon Martin, right? And the fact that he proceeded to engage with him, I thought, you know what, he should have been guilty. Now,
does Donovan agree with you?
What?
Does Donovan agree with you?
I don't know. I haven't asked him. But
do you, Donovan, agree with him? Real quick.
About the Trayvon Martin case?
Yeah. Do you believe that Zimmerman should be rotting in jail?
No.
Do you believe he should walk scot-free?
Yeah, that was self-defense.
Now, hear me out. Hold on, let me finish my point to you. The same people that thought that Zimmerman should have been found guilty are the same people that are saying that Carmelo should have been found innocent. Both parties are basing this off of race. Is that not allowing race to cloud one's judgment?
I don't
you
know
asking me or him?
I don't know what
I'm asking.
I don't know what question is that, because respectfully, once again, it is only racial if we think that the decision is racially motivated. I don't think this case was racial at all. I never made that claim. I know there was some racial tensions involved. I never said that this was based on race. You know who is actually racist and is a liar? Donovan. Because Donovan said on his closing statement, I only hate niggas. I don't hate black people, but I literally have a video on downstairs. It's the last thing I'm going to play, and it's very short, where instead of him being lambasting black people, niggas, is lambasting a black woman that is a tennis player celebrating with her family because she won. She's a law-abiding citizen. She is from pristine. There's nothing that makes her a nigga, and Donovan started to make noises and all this. So Glenn,
it has nothing to do with the debate itself.
No, Glenn, there's actually does, because his closing statement.
No, I asked if a party that thought that Trayvon Martin murderer should have been, and I said, I think that he should have been found guilty. Hold on, it's not about what anybody else has said. It's but what I'm saying. I'm asking you this question. The question is, if somebody thinks that said party should have gotten off because of their race, because he's black.
Sure.
Is that being racist?
That's being racist. But, and let me explain, but
that's all I wanted to ask.
If that kid was a Latino kid, Zimmerman should.
Daddy, are you debating Glenn or are you debating me?
No,
I'm just trying to clarify.
Glenn is asking questions.
I'm just trying to clarify if we're trying to determine whether or not the verdict is racist or the reason for the verdict was racist. And I don't think I want to make sure the audience knows that you guys are, I guess, according to Fatty, both of you guys agree that he is guilty of murder. I think that Fatty's saying
I didn't say that.
Okay. So I'm just trying to clarify.
You are Christian. Is murder and killing the same thing?
No, it's two different things.
What, Glenn? This is what I'm talking about. Either you are absent-minded. No,
I'm trying to clarify.
We've been here for 90 minutes and you still misinterpreting my point. I never said I agree with the murder. I believe he killed somebody and he should spend time in jail.
Okay.
And if Trayvon Martin was white, I want Zimmerman to rot in jail, because I don't care if the kid is white, Asian, yellow, black. You pursue the kid when the cops told you not to do it, and you escalated the situation that actually made the kid die.
Patty, you clarified a point for me. You said that Carmelo Anthony killed him, but he shouldn't be charged for murder then.
That was my statement. Thank you.
Okay. So by saying that, well, murder is an unlawful killing, that's a crime. Killing somebody, if it's not unlawful, it's just killing, and you're saying that's not a crime. So is your position that Carmelo Anthony did not commit a crime?
Carmelo Anthony committed a crime. I believe in proportionality. If Carmelo Anthony stabbed him twice, my opinion would change completely, because that shows he actually wants to harm terribly the other person. But if he stabs him once and he gets on his chest and he didn't came from home and says, I am going to do this to Metcalf and I'm going to sit here and wait for him and all these things, I believe that once again, people have the right to defend themselves. He escalated the situation too harsh. So yes, I don't believe he's murder, because murder usually is intentional. People actually was about to do it. I believe that there's enough plausible deniability. So make sure that you can convict him 100% of the intentionality of him was there to kill Metcalf. Is he that innocent? No, I think he should be in jail. Now we just have to debate once again, what is the time that he should be in jail? If he's 30 years, a death penalty, whatever. But nobody says that he's innocent.
Can I respond to this,
Glenn? Go ahead, Donovan. And then after that, I'm going to bring up whatever people that want to come up and ask questions.
And Glenn, I just want to point this out, right? If I have a video that proves that Donovan is actually lying, and you for whatever reason don't want to play it, I don't understand.
Play it, dude.
No, I don't.
Just let him play it.
No, I don't understand what is the point of actually we showing
play
evidence.
Have I denied a video?
Yeah, the video is down there.
I don't care.
No. Fatty, have I denied any of your videos today?
If he made the final statement that says let me answer. No, you didn't, right? No, you didn't.
Okay, thank you. So I have been fair with all the videos.
No, you haven't. No, it's not that you're being fair. Is if somebody is making a statement and I have evidence that clearly shows that this man is lying, I believe that he should be admissible in court.
Fine.
I believe, right? So can we play this? Can we play this 40-second video and then go to open debate?
Play the video.
All right, the video's being played, and then after this, nobody's talking. I'm going to bring people up on the panel.
Well, I need to respond to what he just said, because I was supposed to have the last word, but then he jumped in. So,
oh my God,
okay, we'll give you that last word, and then we're going to go right into people talking, or people coming up on the panel.
If you're out of this animal at all, look at this. What is this? See that? If you're out of this animal at all. Look at this. What is this? See that emotion? What is this? Yeah, no, that's not emotion. Okay, that's not emotion. Okay, that's this. That's chimping out. Okay, what Taylor Townsend is doing now here is chimping out.
Taylor there. A woman won a match and celebrated with his family and crowd, and just because she's black, Donovan call her a chimp and make chimp noises and call her an animal. I proved definitively that Donovan just doesn't like niggas. He dislikes black people because this woman didn't do nothing to nobody other than celebrate with her family and with her fans. Point closed. Thank you very much. I dropped the mic.
Donovan, you get to respond.
Okay, so yeah, number one, Taylor Townsend is absolutely a nigga. And the reason why I called her a nigga is because she acted like one. There's also another black tennis player by the name of Coco Gauff, who I happen to be a very big fan of. And oh, by the way, Taylor Townsend is from Chicago, Illinois. So yeah, I stand by that statement. And again, you need to distinguish. I'm gonna say this one more time. There is a difference between black people and niggas. Anyone will tell you that. What you're trying to do is you're trying to say, well, because he doesn't like this tennis player and she's not a nigga. No, she is absolutely a nigga. She chimped out on the court after she won some meaningless match, and I will stand by those words. I'm not a fan of Taylor Townsend because she acted like a nigga. I am a fan of Serena Williams. I'm a fan of Coco Gauff because they do not. There you go.
All right, with that being said, this is the time I'm going to, the link is already dropped. People could click the link if they want to join the conversation and if they have a question to ask any one of the debaters. This is your time to do so. I don't know who this person is that came in here and started streaming the link, the GOAT debater, but he's not even in here. I'm going to remove his channel since he's not on the panel.
That's Taz. That's the person that Donovan wants to get to by actually.
Taz doesn't want.
Well, I mean, if Taz came in here and then he started restreaming the show,
Dr. Ilkan, come on up.
He needs to come up here, or I'm going to drop his channel.
Dr. Ilkan, Dr. Ilkan Alani's been in the chat all day. I've been telling him, hey, come up. You're more than welcome to come up and debate me. He won't come up. Then he wants to do 2-on-2, and I'm like, no, it's 1v1. If you have a question, if you disagree with anything I'm saying, I'm right here. The time is now. Let's go.
So nobody wants to come up. I'm gonna give this a little bit more time.
Lilith's Revenge says Serena and Venus have done the same thing. No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
What did she do? Now, what did she do to be a chimp and an animal?
She chimped out. You just played the video.
No. Explain by her actions. You call her an animal and you play noises. What did she do to be called an animal and a baby? What did she do?
Yes, she jumped up and down and she made animal noises.
So she said, "Yeah, I won! Wow!" There's an animal after you win a match.
You want to play it? No, play it again. I'll show you.
Are you serious, Donovan?
No, play the look. I'll take
the video is on there. Go ahead, Glenn. The video is on there. I didn't take the video out.
Animal.
At all.
Fucking behavior out of this animal.
At all.
Look at this. Look at this. What is
You
this?
see that emotion?
What is this?
Coming.
Yeah, no, that's not emotion.
Well, what did she do? That's the video that you wanted me to play? Or you want me
You're
to play
asking
more?
me. You're
No,
asking.
let me play more. I want to get to the end to see. So she screamed at the crowd that she won. Let me see.
Coming.
Yeah, no, that's not emotion. Okay, that's not emotion. Okay, that's this. That's chimping out. Okay, what Taylor Townsend is doing now here is chimping out.
So this is like basically she's.
Look at this. What is this behavior out of this animal?
What?
At all.
Look at this. Look at this. What is
You
this?
see that emotion?
Hey Glenn, can I ask your opinion? As somebody that does sports for a living and all that, and you were a bodybuilder and all this, does this sound like an inappropriate reaction to somebody that just won a game on the U.S. circuit on tennis? Does it sound like inappropriate?
So I would say this: each sport has their own, like what they consider respectful, celebration or respectful.
Sure.
I don't know tennis, so I can't speak on the context of whether or not celebrations. Normally, I see them if they're not like just shaking hands right away. They kind of get booed upon. So I don't know. I am not one to speak on tennis. Right?
I appreciate it.
Bodybuilding, I would say yes. It's okay to celebrate, flex, do that stuff because that's part of the sport.
That. Let's assume that she was against the decorum of the sport, right?
Against the decorum. Let's
she went against it. Let's assume that she went against the decorum of tennis, right? Does that warrant somebody call her an animal and make it noises knowing that black people being referred as white people since I don't know when? Does that warrant that behavior or is just inappropriate, Glenn? Can you answer that? That's a more specific question.
I would say that her behavior is inappropriate, but how one chooses to describe the inappropriate behavior is upon the individual. I'm not going to say that I wouldn't do it personally, but I can't speak on somebody else's actions.
Yeah, so you are a coward.
No, I'm not a coward. Just say
no, you are a coward because if you was anybody just having like the best motherfucking player ever,
I would say the same thing about who is that white guy, that old white man, the tennis commercial guy that used to make all the tennis commercials, and he was always like the angry guy. I never liked him in tennis.
Hey, Glenn, you are a coward.
Oh, John McEnroe.
Not a coward.
Do you hear this?
John McEnroe was crazy, breaking records.
Was that the white guy that I was just talking about? Was that the white guy? I can't stand him in tennis either.
Absolutely, but that's my point. And he's still the GOAT, and nobody called him a chimp. Nobody make noises.
I just told you that I didn't like the way he handled things either.
Hey, y'all might not be racist, but y'all say a lot of things that might be questioned.
All might not be racist. How about that? So now all of a sudden,
all right, hold on. We got Gio first. He
story.
wants to come up here and ask.
Hey, Donovan, I just proved that you will literally do that shit to everybody.
You just sat here and said, y'all might not be racist, but things make me question it. So you went from Donovan as a racist to y'all might not be racist.
I was not talking about you.
You said y'all, which means plural. The only two people up here.
I will take that back. I was not talking about you.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can take it back now, of course, because that,
Yes.
yeah, after
Wait a minute, you guys say I'm a racist?
No, I'm not.
You said,
No. Respectfully. No, let me finish. He asked me a question. He asked me a question. He asked me a question.
One at
He
a
asked
time.
me a question. He asked me a question. I
I
know
know Glenn.
Glenn.
Questions. You
I
absolutely.
know Glenn for a while.
No,
Racism
you
is.
absolutely just contradicted yourself.
Let me finish my point, please.
That's why I don't want to stop talking.
Let me finish my point. I know Glenn for a while. I would not ever call somebody racist because racist is a pattern of behavior. Racist is a pattern of behavior. Somebody that usually picks that side and decides to be racist. But I'm saying that when push comes to shove, and y'all have the opportunity to actually stand on something, y'all religious motherfuckers, y'all I'm about community motherfuckers, y'all all about all of a sudden, hey man, I can say if
Hey, guys,
call
how are
you
you?
like it is not my
Hey,
like
Gio.
if you decide to call her. And who am I
Like
to
the debate's
judge?
over. Like, is there any?
Who am I
like,
to
can
judge?
ask
The
questions?
religious motherfucker. That you should have morals.
Hold on.
You-
So Freddy, I just need to make sure I'm getting this straight. You're calling me a racist.
No, I'm saying that what you
Okay.
did right now might
Uh-huh.
make me question the Glenn Lawrence that is the moral person that keeps talking about religion, that keeps talking about a bunch of that you usually do for whatever reason. Let me finish, please. For whatever reason,
Like, you
you
literally
can now not
just
make
answered my question,
you
Patty.
cannot make
You
a
just
moral
answered it.
claim
Thank you.
about a man calling a black woman a chimp. Yes, I have a
I
problem. with
said
that.
I said that I would not have done that, but I'm not going to speak to what somebody else should do. Just
So
like I
if-
said, I don't agree with the way that the white guy that was big in tennis used to celebrate. I didn't like the way he did it either. I thought it was bad for him too. And
Yeah,
if Donovan called him a chimp for doing the same thing, then I would have said I wouldn't have called him that. But you know what?
Good job evading the question.
Yeah,
That's
so
not a
real
big
quick,
question. I just
Well,
answered the
hold
question.
on.
I'll make it quick so I can
Patty
drop
just
real
said
quick. So
Hold on. We got Geo-verse up here. He wants to ask a question to you two. Let him
Yes,
ask
sir.
this question because this is not Glenn a racist debate. Go ahead.
yes, sir. Glenn. Hey, Glenn, I don't agree with you on a lot, but one thing you are not is a racist. I think that shows lack of decorum.
Nobody called
But
him a
Patty,
racist. Please stop doing that.
I'm asking a question. I'm not hearing your diatribe.
I'm just
so
saying,
this is
don't
not
repeat
your
I
allow me to
didn't
ask a
say.
question,
If I
sir.
wanted to call Glenn a
Sir, can
racist,
you
I would
please
do it.
take your shoes off in Glenn's house? Thank you. So I called in right before Andrew Wilson called into your show, The Smoke Show. And you like to call people out for being inconsistent or hyperbolic on how they identify appropriate, inappropriate, N-word versus black person. You gave a hypothetical to me about a woman going to a man's house and her ending up being raped. I gave half an answer. You dropped me off your channel and called me a pedophile or whatever you called me.
No, I didn't.
So don't come out here. Don't come up
No,
here
I
like you
didn't. No,
don't
I
use
didn't.
your own
No, I
stream
didn't.
to put people in corners.
No, I didn't.
And okay, so demonstrate to me. And I have the clip. How do you know that Geoverse TV is pro grape? Go ahead and explain it to me.
No, sir. This is what you said, and I will answer
You
the question.
literally
Right?
dropped me off
No,
your channel
this
because
is what
you said
sir.
this guy.
Sir, can you stop talking? You asked me a
supports grape.
question. Let me tell you
Go
what
ahead.
I did. This is the problem with y'all Andrew Wilson dick riders.
Don't
Y'all not
hey,
as good as,
address
y'all not
me.
as
It's
good as him.
Geoverse TV. It's one
Can you
person.
stop talking?
It's one
Can you
person, bro.
stop? Can you stop talking?
You see why I cut him off?
Can you
Glenn?
stop talking?
Like, ain't nobody scared of you, fatty.
Can you-
Go say
can you-
Boricua, and I'm
hey,
Hispanic,
Glenn,
and you're
can you- hey,
embarrassing.
Glenn,
Hold on.
You're
can you-
embarrassing our community.
Both of you.
It's not both of me. It's him. He's over talking me. I
So
was
don't
quiet.
bring up the crucible. Don't bring up Christianity
This
like
is
you
the-
always
this-
used to
this-
insult
he-
us with.
he was
Bring up what
involved-
Geoverse.
TV
Let
asked
him
you, sir.
answer his question. Let
No
him
problem.
answer your question.
He is involved because literally he was on the panel. I'm just bringing it up. It's not a diss to him. It's a diss to y'all incompetent dick riders, not
Answer
him.
my question.
Let me finish, please.
Why would
So
you drop me and call me a?
Let me answer,
Go ahead.
please. Let me
Go ahead.
Why
answer.
would you drop him and not let him answer?
Let me
Go ahead.
answer, please. Let me answer. I gave this man 30 minutes to make his point. And his statement was this: Carmelo Anthony initiated the situation. And I said, no, he didn't. Metcalf was the one that
Did I bring
approached
up Carmelo
him.
Anthony?
Let me finish.
Or the fact that you dropped me
Glenn,
before I
what
answered
we're
hypothetical?
doing here? Can I talk uninterrupted?
Answer the
What's my
question, Patty.
question about Carmelo Anthony?
I'm trying to answer the question. I have to give context
here we
so
go.
I can actually understand what it is.
Okay.
He
Gilbo,
said,
don't interrupt. Let him answer.
he said Carmelo
problem.
Anthony initiated the situation. And I said, you are crazy. Even though he shouldn't have killed him, Metcalf clearly was the initiator because he put his hands on him and he was the one approaching him. And the hypothetical that I gave to Geoverse was, if a woman is on, like he said, oh, because Carmelo was on the wrong place. This was his statement. Carmelo started it because he was on the wrong place. And I said, if a woman at 3 a.m. in the morning go to your house, okay, at 3 a.m. in the morning, and we know that being on a man's house at 3 a.m. in the morning is, we kind of know what it is, and you grape her, who started the situation? It was her or it was you? And you know what the answer, Glenn? She started the situation. That's all it was.
And
what
word did I say? How many words did I say before you dropped me? How many words did I say before you dropped me?
Let me land.
I said 2 words.
Let me land, please. Let me land.
As you cried about what he did on his.
I asked for
I'm glad he muted your ass and dropped you.
Maybe I
do the same thing that everybody else.
Yeah, maybe I need to go.
Just
what I said was basic.
So a booty call is congruent.
Gio, I need you to let him answer the question.
What I said was basic. I wasn't calling you a rapist. I said that your argument is stupid because it's the same thing as saying that that woman that went at your house at 3 a.m. in the morning started the graping thing because she was on the wrong place. And this is why I'm saying that y'all are the Andrew Wilson crowd is not as smart as him, is because Andrew Wilson was crazy.
I'm not part of a crowd.
Let me finish. Hey, let me finish.
How many different answers are you going to give?
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Like he's not answering. All he's doing is going context. The Christians and their Jesus Christ believe that they gave good people.
I appreciate it.
Like, brother.
Hold on.
When Andrew Wilson does crazy hypotheticals, would you rather that kid or that kid? Would you rather grape this or that? All of y'all understand it. Is to create an hypothetical so the people. Thank you very much. I appreciate your friends.
All right. I don't know. If you
want to say that I caused that, I apologize, Glenn. I didn't mean that. But
we got Goat and we got Ota's OG in the back. I could bring them up. Gilbert, thank you for coming up, man. I'm gonna go to
Can I respond to this? Do you see what Fatty just did? Fatty just crashed out and he dropped the stream. And the reason why he dropped out of the stream is because he realized that he was outmatched and he was outgunned. He didn't answer any questions. The guy tried to come up and ask him a question. Fatty wouldn't even let him talk. So now, Glenn, you understand why when Fatty came up, and I remember you asked me before, you said, hey, would you like me to set something up? And I was like, well, no. But then I thought about it. I was like, well, actually, yeah, I would like for you to set something up because in a controlled environment, one-on-one, letting each person talk, it will become very clear who the contradictor is. It'll be very clear who's arguing in bad faith, and it'll be very clear who's being disingenuous. And I think that we can all agree, whether you admit it or not, that clearly Fatty is disingenuous. Every time you asked him a question or a hypothetical, he would add an extenuating circumstance. This is exactly why, Glenn, you can't argue with these. And yes, I called you.
I got Goat back here. I'm going to bring Goat up since you said you wanted to debate Goat.
Let's go, Goat. Goat's in the back. You're going to have to mute.
Goat, just so you know, Goat, before I bring you up here, the same rules apply. No ad homs. Talk about the debate, the topic at hand. Nothing else other than the debate topic at hand. And I'm not talking about your baby mamas, his baby mamas, nobody's baby's mamas. You understand? Kids and family are out of it.
But we can talk about crackers, right?
Sure, you talk about me all you want.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? We're doing all this stuff. I want to make sure the coast is clear for everything. So here's the issue.
Fine.
So here's the issue. Somebody was in a video reviewing something that they didn't like with somebody else and kept saying my name. So now that I'm here, Goofy, what was it that I did to you that led to you to start calling me names in the video if racism ain't the problem? Because I hear you today sitting here saying you don't have no problem with racism, but when you was reviewing the video, you seem to have pinpointed racism as your issue with me. Now, what's the issue?
The issue is that that's the issue. You are unintelligent. You don't know the law. You don't debate. You just argue. That's my issue with you.
Okay, that's it?
That's it.
Okay, so here's the thing. You have a chance to debate now. So I could care less about your feelings about Austin Metcalf. When I said that Carmelo should be home, that's my opinion. You actually heard it because you played it in your video why I think he should be home. So when you based my understanding simply on racism, where did that come from, given that I actually gave you multiple reasons why I thought he should have been home? How did you come to the conclusion it was based on race?
The reason I came to the conclusion that it was based on race is because despite the objective truths that were presented in front of you, you still think that Carmelo Anthony should have been home. Anyone who watches this from an objective point of view and sees and hears the facts of the case, if you are in favor, and you actually heard me with Fatty, if you reverse the race, if it was Austin Metcalf who had killed Carmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf 1,000% deserves to be in prison for life, straight up. But then we get niggas, we get like you who want us to think that you're not racist and that you're not basing your opinion on race. And I'm telling you, you're a racist, you're a that's the reason why you think Carmelo Anthony should be at home. You can laugh, but it's true.
So, I mean, if you can't substantiate it, that means you're just a crybaby and a pussy who would never actually be able to debate this in a real setting, right? So doing this in your setting, I don't mind. It's cool. So I'm trying to shut the pussy ass white boy ass nigga. I ain't gonna cut you off. Don't cut me off. That's white boy ass nigga. Now, as I was saying, I heard you earlier today say he was trained in martial arts. I heard you earlier today referring to the other aspects of the case that you're fully aware of. He was approached first, he was touched first, but somehow you turned Carmelo into the aggressor. For you, that works. But you would have to explain to me now how a person can approach me, talk to me, touch me, and then when I respond to all that, how am I the aggressor? I'm listening.
Okay. Austin Metcalf, let's just say, for the sake of argument, let's just say that Austin Metcalf were the aggressor. Let's just say that as soon as Carmelo got into the tent, he didn't say anything. Let's just say Austin Metcalf says, "Hey, black boy, get the out of this tent, blah, 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 blah." And then Austin Metcalf goes up and pushes him and says, "Out of here." And then Carmelo Anthony stabs Austin Metcalf. Guess what? That still belongs in prison, my guy. Because while calling someone a isn't against the law, stabbing someone in the chest is. Number one. Number two, there were 21 witnesses. And I'll tell you what, if Austin Metcalf had actually called him the N-word, then somebody most certainly would have testified to that particular scenario, right? So, yes, listen, let's concede. Austin Metcalf was the aggressor. That does not mean that Carmelo Anthony is not still guilty.
I mean, that's interesting. So, again, you are conceding then that the Metcalf was the aggressor.
Yes.
You're conceding that. Okay, cool. So now that you've conceded that, you're making my point. Well, now that you've conceded that, you're making my point. So whatever happens to Austin Metcalf happens to him. If he gets stabbed and bleeds out all over the place, so it ain't nothing but 18 and a half. He'll get parole. Nobody's sitting around crying but you and your goofy ass white friends with your attempt to get closer to white people and somehow make them feel good. Well, I'm here to let you know I am that nigga you think you can call out. I'm a nigga. So go and clean up Austin's blood. Nobody cares at this point. He got the time. He'll appeal it. And if he got to serve it all, he'll serve it. He'll be a better man for it. What is your point in talking to me? Don't you got some blood to go clean up?
Number one, no, I'm not going to go clean up Austin's blood. Number two, you're clearly in your feelings. Number three, this is exactly why we should put people like you on a reservation. You said, okay, so Austin was giving him some static. He got what he got, and he deserved to die. Go clean up his blood. These kinds of people like you are the reason. People like you are not fit for civilized society. Yeah, you are that nigga. You are that nigga that would go to prison for 35, 50 years if someone pushed you and you respond with force. Go ahead, be proud of that. Yeah, I am that nigga. Cool. You know what? I used to be that nigga, not even to that degree. But I actually started thinking for myself. I actually started trying to control my emotions, and I haven't been in trouble since. And now I'm successful. I'm married to a beautiful woman. I have more money than God, and I live in a bigger house than you'll ever live in. And by the way, I do live around white people. So what?
So, hey, so now let me ask the host this. So when he said he's married to a beautiful woman, am I allowed to respond to that? When he said when he married to a beautiful woman, can I respond directly to that?
You sure
No,
can. You can.
You said no.
I brought it in. Last time.
I said no families involved.
Yeah, so he shouldn't have brought the motherfucking then, right?
We'll go on.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. President Johnson already took care of that, dog.
I give him permission. Go on and do that.
President Johnson already took care of that. So here's the issue, right? Again, when it comes to
Since Donovan brought it up, go ahead.
Yeah, by no means, nowhere, at no point has anybody ever referred to her as beautiful. You actually had the entire white manosphere showing that she isn't beautiful, took her up top, took you up top, exposed you, her kid, and your marriage. Anyway, so when we start talking about this, Carmelo, people like you who the just old nigga around, I'm trying to show you, though, that word doesn't mean much because intellectually you're not sound. I'm trying to hear your argument, not your crybaby. What the f is you saying my name for? What was your issue with me?
My issue with you was that your opinion about the Carmelo Anthony case is clearly based on race. It's obvious. That was my issue with you.
It's not. Okay, so I'll say it again. I feel like Carmelo was invited to the tent. When he got to the tent, he was outnumbered. He was outnumbered by a bunch of kids who eventually you would be using as your witnesses, who would then go give inconsistent stories that they did not give in 2025. Witnesses give stories claiming to be that one person pushed him with one hand, the other pushed him with another. Austin's next to him in one testimony, he's not next to him in another. Those inconsistencies combined with the fact that he's invited to a tent where he's outnumbered, combined also with the fact that you have a grainy video that we can't even see what actually happened under the tent. I'm trying to figure out, is that video enough to send somebody to jail for 35 years? We can't even see what happened.
Clearly it was because they did.
Well, no, I'm asking you, though. You can see what happened under the tent in that video?
Yeah, I saw. Yes, I saw the video just like everybody else.
So how many people were under the tent?
I don't know, but 21 people testified.
Right, but I'm asking you, though, because they showed a tent in court on video, apparently, that we can't make out anything with, yet he got 35 years based on that video. You can't tell me what's in the video, but you feel comfortable saying it's something to convict somebody with?
You're right. Now, here's the thing. You asked me how many people are under the tent. I can't tell you, and I don't think anybody could tell you. The number of people under the tent was irrelevant. What was relevant is that the 21 people who were under the tent testified that Carmelo Anthony did indeed stab Austin Metcalf and that Austin Metcalf pushed him one time. That's why they convicted him.
You didn't hear me just say that those were inconsistent testimonies that did not even apply in 2025. They came back and changed their testimony this year. That doesn't matter either.
If they change their testimony from last year to this year, that's on the defense to call out those inconsistencies. And the inconsistencies you're talking about are actually circumstantial consistencies. Let me explain what that means, since you don't seem to understand. You have 21 different vantage points to this particular instance, right? No, not every single person told exactly the same story because not every single person had exactly the same vantage point. Yes, there were inconsistencies because we have different people, different feelings, different vantage points. But whatever was inconsistent about their stories had no bearing on the actual crime. And that is exactly why he was convicted of first-degree murder. That's why. Inconsistencies or not. Here's an inconsistency that would get Carmelo off, right? Well, it wasn't Carmelo that stabbed him. It was his friend Edwin that stabbed him. Okay, that's going to get him off. Everybody under that tent said, yeah, Carmelo stabbed Austin Metcalf. And then Carmelo Anthony admitted that he did it. I'm not alleged. I did it. You have a dead body, you have a murder weapon, and you have a confession on the scene, and you have 21 witnesses that attested to the crime. This is why he was convicted, and it had nothing to do with race. You, sir, you think Carmelo Anthony should be off because he is black. Because if the races were reversed, you absolutely would have said, yeah, you know what? Carmelo Anthony, absolutely, or if Austin Metcalf had done it, yeah, send that white boy to prison. That's exactly what you'd say.
So then by that thought alone, then I can say the only reason you want him to be locked up is because he's black.
No, that is not correct.
I mean, it is. I mean, because this is what we're going to do. If I'm going to sit here and concede your point, I don't mind conceding your point.
Let me ask a question to both of you.
Let me answer his question.
Let me ask a question to both of you real quick. All things equal, sex, race, wealth, everything. Goat, would you want the person that stabbed party A to serve time for murder if he murdered him in the stabbing?
I'm gonna need more details.
No, all things equal. Same race, same age, same you know, all things equal.
No, I need more details on the incident on why the person was stabbed in the first place.
Same thing. Person pushes person. This is all I know.
Oh yeah. If you push a person, it goes from there.
So you're thinking that the use of force is warranted if someone pushes you, you could stab them.
Yes.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. Because okay, so like for example, let me give you an example, right? So you got somebody here pretending to be that, right? Like, oh, I used to be a nigga, right? So if you used to be a nigga, then you know what can happen to you while you're talking right now. Like, but I guess being with that stupid ass, ugly ass guy, what can happen to you?
Nigga,
Hold on.
You forgot what niggas do to squares. You forgot what niggas do to squares.
Please believe. Don't let the dude. Don't let the.
You forgot what niggas do to squares. You forgot. It's clear.
Go. I need you to have some decorum, please.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. My bad. My fault. I just wanted to remind you.
So my question is, so in your worldview, if you pushed me, I have the right to put you down.
Say that one more time. Say it again.
If you pushed me, I have the right to put you down.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
And that's the difference between, this is the difference between black people and niggas. There it is. There it is. And listen,
that's him making that statement. But here's what I'm gonna tell you. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Most even white people know not to come and put their hands on you, bro, because they don't know what you gonna do in response. So he can make this about race, but he's actually a pussy. He's actually a pussy. I understand where you at, Donovan, and you ain't gonna put your hands on me. I'll come stand next to you. And I guarantee you wouldn't.
All right. I'm gonna move on.
Touch me and see what happens. Touch me and see what happens, Negro.
We have Oda on the go in the back. I'm gonna bring him up now.
Punk ass nigga, come on over to my place, bro. Smoke a cigar.
Oda,
absolutely.
You have a question or?
Yeah, I just wanted to say a couple of things. But for Donovan, you know, if you're saying that Taz and it was racist, or if they was racist on Fatty's panels, you're displaying some of the same type of actions, right? And when you call in the chimps, you're doing the thing and all of those things, you're displaying some of the same actions. Whether you think it's right or wrong is whatever the case may be with that, right? Yep. Glenn, you was asked a question about the Serena thing and towards the chimping and that, and you said how a man handles it, he handles it. I think that you would have answered that more straightforward, and it shows that you have some biases, and I could see that maybe Donovan's your guy and you don't want to go against your guy.
No, I would say this, like I said the same thing about like whoever that white tennis player was that's known for always being angry. And like, yeah, I don't like him either. The way that he does his outbursts, I think is unprofessional, it's unbecoming. So if someone is displaying a behavior that's unprofessional, unbecoming, that's warranted within their sport of celebration, then I think that's wrong, right? I don't like it. Now, if somebody called him a white honky doing the honky dance, I'm not going to say they were wrong for saying that because he's acting unbecoming.
Okay.
So that's where my position. Does that clarify it? Because it's not.
And I'll admit, you're absolutely right. I displayed some of the same behaviors that they displayed. The difference is I admit it. They won't.
Okay. All right. As far as Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf, you know what I mean? Regardless of the fact, I don't feel that Austin should have died. You know what I mean? That's just point blank. You know what I mean? I think they're both kids. They both like my son's age. My son is 18, about to be 19. Austin would have been 19. Carmelo's already 19. It was kids when this all happened and this all transpired. You feel me? I do believe that Austin was the aggressor. You're right. And I don't feel like Carmelo went there with the intention to unalive Austin. I just don't believe that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just two young people and something happened between them both. I don't think that Austin knew him putting his hands on Carmelo would have led to him really being unalive. And I don't believe that Carmelo really having that weapon and using it would have believed that he would get 35 years. You know what I'm saying? I think intention, I think when you go into proportionality, a push, or whether it was a grab or a shove, maybe it was more than just a push that happened underneath the tent. But I just don't feel that he should have maybe got 35 years, though. You know what I'm saying? I think based on intention, I don't think that his intention was there. I think that was due to his faulty defense team, and as well as a few other cases that I've been studying, doing case-by-case comparisons in Collin County Court and a few in the surrounding counties. Many other people got 10 years probation, not even just Casey Allison, who got the 2 years and the 8 years plus. But
Can I ask you a question?
Well. But a few of those people testified in their trials, and I don't know if that was something that helped them or not.
Let me ask you a question. When you look at how the revenue that was raised to defend him was dispersed, does that look like their parents basically utilized his case to garner assets that they're not using that money for his defense? I mean, because if they really thought their son was innocent of murder, or they thought that he should have been innocent, shouldn't they have focused all $600 and some odd whatever $1,000 that they raised into that defense?
Okay, so my answer to that would be, first of all, we don't know if they got all the money, because that was a thing that at first.
Sure. But I mean, okay, would you say all the money should have been allocated to his defense, since that's what it was
if they got reach and access to all of the money? Because even at one point, the Give, Send, Go owner had came out to say that they didn't get it. Then there was speculation that they did get it, that they did put on the house.
I know that after the verdict was read, the Give, Send, Go account was closed. Or they took it down.
That for a fact. I know that for a fact. I don't know if it was closed with money still in it, so we don't know.
I'm just saying, like, if
it's going to take about $500 to beat an M charge. I don't care what color you are. That's just based on legal analysis. Analysts,
but the fact that they spent only $75K and allegedly, or $80K, and if they did, and let's say hypothetically speaking, we don't know if they had all the access to the money. The fact that they didn't utilize all the money for their son's defense, what does that say to you?
I don't think that has anything to do with his guilt or innocence.
If they had the money, I think that.
Well, I think it speaks to whether or not they believe that he was innocent.
But if they had access to the money, I think they should have, because it's going to take at least $500,000 to really successfully fight a M charge like that. You know what I'm saying? It's really going to take that, based on other crimes, other people that got charged with M's, other people's defense teams and things like that. So that's why that leads me to believe that they didn't really have access to all of the funds. That's what it kind of leads me to believe. You know what I mean? I don't really know all the facts on it, but I don't think that they got all that money. I mean,
okay.
What he said first, number one, I don't think whether or not Carmelo Anthony's family got, and I don't care what they did with money. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Whether they got all the money or not, it's fine. They did whatever they did. It is what it is. But whether they got the money or not, it doesn't have anything to do with Carmelo's innocence or guilt. Okay. Number two, I'm not sure if you realize this, but premeditation is not an element required to successfully secure a first-degree murder charge in the state of Texas. A lot of people say intent, premeditation, and most of the time you would be right. But in the state of Texas, intent, which is a derivative of premeditation, that is not required. That is not an element that is required to be met. This again is another reason why the jury found Carmelo Anthony guilty of first-degree murder.
I think it's a few other factors too as well. I think the defense had a lot to do with that. I think his defense was really lackluster. I think even in opening arguments, they made a lot of things that they brought up. Like they brought up that he had the weapon for camping. They never drove this home. They didn't bring up character witnesses. They did a lot of things that I don't think that they could have pressed back on some of the witnesses. Maybe some statements have changed from 2025 to when they actually testified. It's a few other things. I don't think that they objected enough. I don't think they even did enough to even set up more the mistrial or the appeal.
Well, that's $5,000 attorney get you, my guy.
You know what I mean? I don't think that they did enough. You know what I mean? Some could even say that the defense and the prosecution, everybody was in kudos together. You could even lean to even possibly think that. So I think it was about that. And I think that maybe if he, my bad, Don, get up.
Yeah, do you think Carmelo Anthony was innocent or guilty? If not, then how much time should he have gotten?
I don't think he was innocent. You know what I mean? I don't think he was innocent because he actually did something.
What would you if in the United States of your I'm sorry, I forget what your name is?
Uda. My name Uda.
Uda. In the United States of Uda, you can make this decision right now. They're going to say, Uda, we're going to put this trial on in front of you. We're not gonna charge him with anything. You're gonna hear the evidence, and then you are going to give him a punishment. You're going to define what the crime. If you believe he committed a crime, you're gonna tell us what that crime is. If you do believe he committed a crime, what is that crime, and how much time should he get?
Okay, I think based on the standards of what happened, I would think that it would have been more of a manslaughter case than M1 charge. And I think
you're telling me you would have found him guilty of manslaughter.
I think he would have been got found guilty of manslaughter.
No, what would you do? What would, if you were on the jury?
Manslaughter. I think they would have given. I would have given him manslaughter.
That's reasonable.
And he would have probably got about 10 years or so. He'd have probably got about 10 years or so. At max 15, but 10 years or so. About 10 years.
Right. And see, I disagree with you. I would have found him guilty of first degree murder, but that's okay. Like this is why we have these discussions, right? At least at least you're saying, hey man, like he's not completely innocent. Like he shouldn't be exonerated. My problem is with people like Goat, who's as soft as baby and he knows it, want to come up here and act like he's not an open racist who is not using his racial blinders as a reason for him taking the position that he does. That's just all there is to it. I said many, many times throughout this debate, it does not matter what the race of this person was. If Austin Metcalf had done to Carmelo Anthony what Carmelo Anthony did to Austin Metcalf, that white boy deserves 60 years in prison without the possibility of parole. Straight up. That's what I think should have. And this is interesting. I'll land the plane here. I'll give you the last word here. A wise person once told me, like one of my mentors said, a good business deal, like when you're in negotiations, a good deal is what happens when both parties walk away a little bit unsatisfied, right? And so I know that there are a lot of people, oh, he should have got more. He should have gotten 60 years, 90 years. And then there are other people who thinks that he should have gotten off in no years. I agree with the verdict and I agree with the years, man. Because at the end of the day, and I know this is going to be an unpopular opinion, and I actually have a video about this on my YouTube channel, Carmelo Anthony is still a person. Yes, he did a reprehensible thing. Please believe. But if the black community, if the black churches really did support Carmelo Anthony, then why isn't there a pastor or a preacher or a minister down there in the prison where Carmelo Anthony is? Why isn't there somebody who said, okay, Carmelo Anthony, I think he got a raw deal? All of these people who have his support, okay, fine. You go through the legal channels. Why isn't there anybody in there in the prison trying to mentor Carmelo? Why everyone that has come out publicly about Carmelo, we're going to do his appeal. We're going to file another this. How about somebody get in Carmelo's ear and say, hey, kid, it's not over. Okay, yeah, you got to spend at least 17 and a half years in here. But when you get out, you'll be 34, 35 years old. Get a degree, learn to code. Dude, it's prison. Like they have access to all sorts of educational materials. Then when Carmelo Anthony gets out of prison, then maybe he can be a motivational speaker and go around to high schools and be like, yo, I'm Carmelo Anthony. I'm the guy that stabbed Austin Metcalf because I did the stupid thing. Not only did I bring a knife to a track event, I got into my emotions and I reacted too emotionally. And that's why I spent the last 17 and a half years of my life in prison. Tell me he wouldn't make a difference by doing that. But that doesn't start if the black community doesn't get down there and mentor this kid. That's all I'm saying.
That's a lot. You know what I mean? Hopefully he's getting some help while he's in there with some prisoners and different people like that. And people are taking him under the wing while he's in there because that place where he's at is hell. Trust me, it's hell. But like I said, man, I think they were both kids. I mean, Donovan, I think they were both kids. You know what I'm saying? We've seen adults go through situations. Sometimes it goes topsy-turvy and it goes left and it goes extreme. So I think they were both kids. And I just really don't believe that, you know, they really understood what level that was really going to go to. I do believe that if the roles were reversed, I believe that if it was Austin, that whatever got it in the same way, vice versa, I think that it would have been different. I don't think he would have gotten 40 years or 35 years. I do believe that, you know what I mean? Especially in Texas. I don't believe that Austin would have got that same time if he had stabbed Carmelo. I don't believe that, you know what I mean? I think he'd have probably got less time, you know what I mean?
Okay. And you want to know why? And here's the thing. You can believe that, but you want to know something? We'll never know because white kids aren't bringing knives to track meets. White kids aren't going and sitting under. You think a white kid is going to go sit under another track team sent where it's all black people? Hell to the no, because he knows what would happen. So if we put Austin Metcalf in that, yes, we can say in a hypothetical world, if Austin Metcalf had done the same thing, he should be guilty or he would have been found not guilty. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. But I do know this, Austin Metcalf would not have been in that situation in the first place. And that's the difference between his family and the Anthony family.
But you can't say that. You can't say that exclusively, though, Donovan, because these are young kids, man. And young kids are different than back in the time of segregation. Young kids are blending with everybody today. You know what I'm saying? Even our neighborhoods are gentrified. I'm from New York City. Even Brooklyn is not the same way. We got people from everywhere next door. People living next. You know what I mean? So it's all different now, and the kids feel different about color and race than how people from the older times feel. So I think that kids today are more blended, even relationship wise, they're more blended. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a few factors that factor into that. You know what I mean?
And
Carmelo,
I'll tell you this. Here's what I do agree with. I think that Austin Metcalf should have kept his mouth shut. I think he should have stayed. I think what Austin Metcalf should have done, he should have gone and got a security guard. He should have gone and got a teacher. He shouldn't have because it was a coach who said, be leaders today. I don't think he meant confronting people. I think that Austin Metcalf should most definitely not have gone over there and confronted Carmelo, whether he had a knife or not. Okay. He should have gone and got a teacher, get somebody on the faculty to go handle this business. Okay. So he didn't do that. Okay. So Austin Metcalf was an asshole. Okay. So Austin Metcalf absolutely initiated that contact. That does not mean that Austin Metcalf deserved to die. And anyone who truly believes that Austin Metcalf deserved to die for his role in that altercation are the kinds of people that we cannot live with in a civilized society.
Yeah, I think they're both kids, man. I wouldn't say that I want Austin to die or I wanted Carmelo to do the 35, you know what I mean? And he initially didn't instigate it. I think it was more started by Hunter. And I think that he came into the fray afterwards or whatever the case, and then brothers. So, you know what I mean? That could go to some speculation that Carmelo could feel that his brother, if he's fighting with him, he got a twin brother, he could possibly be jumped. I don't know.
That'll take one push.
Only we know if he was testifying for his own self, then we could actually get into those specifics in his mind of how he felt. And
the reason why Carmelo Anthony didn't testify is because the defense knew that if Carmelo testified, he would have been absolutely crucified on cross-examination. And here's something else I would point out. Yes, I will.
Well, we have more people in the back chat that I need to bring up.
Quick, the defense looked incompetent because there was insurmountable evidence against Carmelo. I don't think it would have mattered if it was a $75,000 lawyer or a $500,000 lawyer. I think we would have got the same outcome.
All right. Thank you, Oda.
Appreciate
Appreciate you coming up. Jalen Speaks the Truth wants to come up and say something.
Hello, y'all. How y'all doing today?
I'm doing well, Jalen. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. About the situation, I think both sides are in the wrong. Austin Metcalf should have left Carmelo Anthony alone, and Carmelo Anthony should never stabbed him. Both sides was wrong.
I agree.
Yeah,
I have no dispute with that. I think if they wanted Carmelo Anthony out of there, the brothers should have approached the coach, approached the adult that has authority on the campus, and asked for him to be removed. That would have been the use of authority, right? Because those kids don't have authority. So, but I don't think a push equals use of deadly force. I don't think that warrants it by any means. I know the use of force matrix wasn't law enforcement, was a corrections officer. I understand what the law says a proper use of force is, and someone pushing you does not mean stab in the heart. It doesn't warrant that. I think that's a huge leap. It's sad. I think that he should face the penalty for murdering somebody, however long that is. That's based on the judge's mandatory minimum that he is basing things off of, and I have no say so in that.
Yeah, I think Carmelo Anthony got a new appeal. They said he probably gonna be released early soon, but Carmelo Anthony was in the wrong. But and what's so bad about that? You got people on social media talking about they are pissed on Austin Metcalf grave. That was 100% when I turned it off. I couldn't take it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Bring up the other people.
No, sir.
All right, thank you for joining Jalen on Jalen Speaks the Truth. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey, bring back. Listen, after we get through everybody, bring Goat back up. He's still in the chat talking. Afraid of his ass.
If he wants to come back up after the next two people come up, he's more than welcome to.
People, Goat, if you're still in here, man, come on up. Come on up. I would love for you to demonstrate to people why people like you.
Here's the reason why I dropped them. TOS.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If you're going to be engaging on someone else's channel, you need to have the decorum and operate within TOS. All right. And when you're making a bunch of attacks, slurs, name calling on both sides, you got to operate in TOS.
That was on me.
Both of you.
I got drawn.
So that's all I got to say there. I'm going
to listen. I'll give you this. If you bring him back up, I'll make sure I stay within TOS.
All right. I appreciate that. Now, I'll bring up this next person, but this next person is special to me because I'm just gonna let this video play.
Are you gay and looking for love? Are you having a hard time? Are you wanting to find meaningful connections, not just guys that want to pull their pants down, show you their Johnson, and make you suck their dick while you're trying to read a book? Do you find yourself striking out at your local gay watering hole? Strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, and nobody just seems to be interested in your gay ass? You should contact the Hudsman, the dating coach for the gays, Philly's best. So if
shout out to the Hudsman.
God.
Oh my I swear to God, man.
God almighty. I was like, what? Whose intro is this? Holy God.
Glenn, that'll never stop being funny, I swear.
And everybody thinks it's a dig at you. And it's like,
that's trolling.
Huds knows that it's a joke. I made it for him.
Yeah. It's not serious, but it's definitely very funny. Definitely very funny. Love you guys. Glad to hop on. I haven't been doing this haven't done this in a while. And Don, I know we've been talking like on the side. I've been following this case, and oh my God, I think what everybody is missing when they're trying to throw in this like whole racism aspect of it, it just comes down to like the baseline law and rules.
Hold on, you guys, real quick. Do you guys mind if I bring up grid 1 as well?
Sure.
Since it's not
go for
okay.
It.
Grid, you're coming up. Go ahead.
Yep.
What's
so
up,
where I'm at, like in my thought process, like when that other guy came up, like first off, he came on like very aggressive right off the bat, which I thought was just kind of not setting a good starting point. But it comes down to a couple different things. One, let's talk about levels of aggression. When he's saying, all right, if somebody puts their hands on me, if somebody punches or pushes me, hands versus knives are different levels of weapons. You cannot escalate past a certain level. And
yeah, it's the use of force metrics.
Yep, exactly. So first off, that's wrong. Second off, when we're talking about like, let's also talk about when we call people white trash. Like, okay, we call people trash based on behavior. We add white trash in front of it because it's specifically for like white people trashy behavior. It's the same thing with cracker. It's the same thing with all of us. It is just speaking on, it's not racist, so to say, but it's speaking on it's speaking on the actual issues of baseline behavior within a society. And if you're going to break baseline behavior within a society, I don't care what race you are trash, you are garbage. Like, you deserve what comes based on the laws of a society. It's not complicated, and I don't understand why we're still trying to make it complicated.
Yeah, I think what a lot of people watching fail to understand is that chimping out is not specific to black people. Okay, chimping out is a behavior. It's not a race. That's what it is, right? But when there's one race of people that are all, that are not all, but when there's a race of people, when there's an activity of, like behavior, these teen takeovers, and most of the people appear to be black, that's when the moniker comes about. But they take offense to it because people actually have pattern recognition. And I'm telling you right now, and you guys just heard it with GOAT, black people in America, American black people, they are the most racist people on the planet. They are absolutely the most racist people on the planet. They wouldn't admit it, but they absolutely are. They absolutely are. This guy Goat came up trying to threaten me. Like, I'm afraid of his punk ass. Please. But again, the fact that he came up and literally threatened me, you ain't gonna stand next to me. This is exactly the kind of behavior that we're talking about. These are the kinds of people that we need to weed out of society. Okay, we need to buy an island for them. I don't put them in Nebraska. Thousands, put them on a reservation. A lot of people don't realize this. The American Indians, Native Americans, they weren't these peaceful people that history tells us about, right? History tells us that Native American Indians came up and all they wanted to do was smoke the peace pipe and meditate. No. These people wanted to smoke weed. They wanted to drink. They wanted to be savage. They were shooting people with bows and arrows for no reason. So they tried to assimilate them into the United States. The Native Americans could not assimilate. So they said, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Here's what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to come up with reservations where you guys can go and break all the laws you want and do all the Native American stuff. That's what I believe needs to happen. I believe that there needs to be a reservation for a certain group of people, regardless of race, who engage in behavior. It just so happens that in this country, most of them happen to be black.
Why do you think, Don?
Oh, I want to get Grid in here. Grid, you've been listening to the debate. What is your thoughts on the debate so far?
Oh man, where do I even start? Well, I mean, the first thing is that if you're not, if everybody's going to just agree that the guy's guilty, and they're really only trying to now argue about what they believe the severity of the charges should have been, well, that's a stupid ass argument, and I honestly don't care to hear it because you have no. What does it matter? You're not a legal scholar. You're not a judge. You're not a prosecuting attorney. What the I mean, why would we listen to you? It's irrelevant. But now what you could say is you could say, well, I think 35 years was a little stiff because he's a kid. Well, okay, but he was a kid who was throwing up thug life, pictures and videos on his Facebook. His socials were scrubbed immediately after so that you would have this whitewashed, and I did purposely use the term whitewashed, motherfucker, so shut the fuck up. This whitewashed version of this kid, specifically so that men like Donovan could say, "Hey, there's something wrong here. I don't believe that." And I believe Donovan called it correctly, right? And it's not a day of behavior that we're talking about. We're talking about a lot of behavior.
Grid, you're roboting. You're roboting, Grid. Are you driving?
I'm driving. I'm in my truck. I'm sorry. Where did it leave?
You're still robot. You are Mr. Roboto.
Mr. Roboto.
Great. Hop back on when you
Damn,
have
it
better.
is robot.
Hop back on when you have better service. All right.
Domi Origato.
Domi Origato, Mr. Roboto. All right. So, does anybody else want to come up? I know Donovan had opened the floor again to Goat. If Goat is listening and he wants to come back up here,
he ain't coming
Donovan
back up
said
there.
he will take you on.
Yep.
As long as you're going to practice decorum.
I will practice decorum. You have my word on that.
All right, real quick, while we're waiting for somebody to reply on Goat's behalf, I'm going to read some of these super chats here. We got $5 from the Raging Patriot. It says, Fatty on the feminist emotional roller coaster of cope and hurt feelings for being called out on his BS. Donovan owned you, bro, and bodied you. Shut the fuck up. All right. Another $2 from the Raging Patriot. It said, hit the like and sub up, send donos to Glenn. Yes, give me money. Give me your money. I want your money. Luke Perry, 28, says, Go is not a one-on-one fighter. He's the type that needs 5 of his buddies with a $10 super chat.
Yeah, this is why I called him a nigga, because niggas, look, dude, nigga kryptonite is 1v1. It's always 1v1. And then when something is done to neutralize their advantage, like, oh, you didn't want to take on all 5 of us, you were scared. Get out of here.
All right, and the best Texas detailer Viking out there, Donovan. He says the first time I dungeon master a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, I want Glenn, Huds, and Donovan in the party.
Yes, sir.
All right.
I am so down for that. I'm so down for that. That would be so much fun.
All right, Grid, you're back. Are you Mr. Roboto? Are you?
I don't think so.
No, he's
All
not.
right. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's
Okay,
my
good.
thing. Here's my thing on this whole thing. If ending a life, if stabbing somebody in the heart, is murder that's unwarranted, right? This is what he was charged with. Person that's charged and convicted of murdering someone, which is an unlawful killing. I don't think pushing someone justifies murder or stabbing somebody in the heart. That's not a proper use of force. And I don't think that that's a good defense. So if said person stabs some person in the heart, the person that stabs that person in the heart should go to jail. I don't care the color of skin. I don't care. It's principle. To me, it's all principle. I think if we go back and base things on principle, Grid, we had this conversation Saturday.
I know.
That things would be a lot easier. If you tell a lie one time, a white lie, like you tell Huds that he's attractive when we know he has a face only a mother could love, right? When we lie to Huds about that, or if we lie and say that Glenn Lawrence is the most attractive man in the world, you're still a liar to me. You are willing to deceive me. You're willing to be dishonest with me. That's the principle, and you are unworthy of trust. You have proven yourself to not be trustworthy, right? So if you murder somebody and someone's life, right, when there was no need to escalate that use of force on a reasonable doubt, and that's what was charged here, then you should deserve to face the price of taking someone's life out.
Yeah, I agree with you, Glenn.
Quite frankly, he got off easy. The fact that he's not going to be let out soon, like I was almost laughing when I heard somebody else said that.
Yeah,
it's 17 and a half. It's got to be 17 and a half.
Yeah.
But if he was elsewhere, it could be even stricter. So, like, honestly, he got out easy. And Don, that's what I loved about when you talked about this whole thing on your stream. Like, he got off easy for what he did.
Really did.
Let's keep that in mind.
He did. Now, I want to make it clear. I do believe that he got off easy. Okay. But I don't have I don't have a problem with the sentence. I really don't. I think it should have been longer, but I mean, there's nothing I can do about it, right? I can complain until I'm blue in the face, but okay, he got 35 years, which means he'll likely get out. If he gets out at 17 and a half years, if he, if he's granted parole, I mean, it is what it is. He got off light, but I truthfully don't have a problem with I don't have a problem with the verdict or the sentence. Because
real quick, we got another super chat coming in from Ghost. He said, in cases, hold on, where'd it go? I lost it. It says, in cases like this one, the head of the families or the head of the victim's family should choose the sentencing.
Oh, good.
Metcalf said life.
That's an interesting point. I never thought. I mean, that's not how our justice system is done.
I understand that, but this is why you are tried. This is why there are conflicts of interest, right? That would be the equivalent of putting members of the Metcalf family on the jury. That would be putting members of the Anthony family on the jury. So if you have the family determine what the sentence is, they're not going to be as objective as they need to be. Because if it were up to Jeff Metcalf, then Carmelo Anthony he'd be on the penal planet somewhere, right? That's just how that goes. So no, I don't agree with the fact that we should have let Jeff Metcalf, sentence him, but that's, I think, what the victim impact statements are for.
I want to welcome John Galt to the stage. Good morning or good afternoon, John. How you doing, sir?
Hey man, how's it going?
How is the rental properties on the East Coast?
It's on fire, man. The more government regulation, the better things get. They squeeze one side, the other side pops out a little bit bigger,
Love that stuff. Where are you from?
I'm from Alabama originally, but I live in Washington, D.C. in New York.
Oh, you're in D.C. now? Nice. Yeah, I used to live in the Alexandria area.
So, John, you've been listening to the debate on the whole Carmelo thing. What is your opinion of this?
Well, I think, the general thing is I mean, there's a lot of different ways I can go with this, but I deal with a lot of blacks. I rent to them and stuff like that. And so one of the things that stuck out to me was a lack of maternal love there. Maybe you could even say paternal love. I've been on trial before. I can't imagine my mother abandoning me during sentencing, abandoning me during the victim statements. I can't even imagine that. But I can't imagine it when I consider my tenants and the lack of maternal love that they receive from their parents. And I see it. It manifests itself out on the streets and stuff like that. So it's not surprising to me. I think that his parents abandoned him for the grift. At some point, they realized, like,
yeah,
I got to make a living. I got to keep living out here. This boy is clearly guilty. So let's keep the grift going. I think that at some point, they probably were told to plead guilty. But if they had pleaded guilty, the grift would have stopped. So they sacrificed him for the grift. That's what I believe.
That's terrible, man.
The optics look like that. I'm not going to lie to you, because when sentencing came, his parents were nowhere near to be. They were on a podcast right afterwards. And to me, it seemed like it was more about the grift than saving their child from, life behind bars.
I don't think that's initially how it started. Initially, probably the first day.
Yeah. But I'm talking about at the end of it. That's what was.
I think almost like from the beginning, they chose to go the direction of choosing Dominique Alexander and those people that led them down the road of the grift. And at that point, they made a choice to sacrifice their son. It may have been implicit. It wasn't explicit. Like, they were going to sacrifice this boy for money. But I think implicitly, that's the choice that they made. And the grifters around them, they had no problem sacrificing him. Hell, they were going to get paid. So like, he's just another number for them, not like any of the other blacks.
I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah, that's what I believe. Because if you know blacks the way I know blacks, their backs are up against the wall. They're very, very, very money focused, and so at some point, money will outweigh the maternal love. That's what I believe.
You really think so?
Hell yeah, I've seen it many times. Hell yeah, I've seen it. So it's not surprising to me. I've seen mothers abandon their own children for a new man. You think about Baby Boy, the movie Baby Boy. It's real. And oftentimes they'll abandon their son, and he got to go find a place to live. He called me up. Or maybe even the mother will call me and say, "Hey, take my boy off my hands so I can get me a new boyfriend in this house," because they're bumping heads with each other. Things like that. So yeah. It doesn't surprise me.
So do you think this is a subculture thing?
Yeah. I think that there's a lot of things going on there. From the jump, I said, why in the hell would these blacks go live in a conservative district area? There's nothing wrong with that. The day before Carmelo stabbed that boy, they probably were extolling the virtues of their neighborhood. The day after he stabbed the boy, the people are racist and prejudiced. And that is the problem with blacks. Love the trappings of living around whites until they get a white jury or a non-black jury, as they would say. And then they don't like the trappings of living around whites, and they call them racist and stuff like that. I live in the ghetto around blacks. I take phone calls almost every day where blacks don't want to live around other blacks.
Yep.
So I want to read the U.S. Texas Penal Code 9.32.
Yes.
Deadly force in self-defense may be justified when you reasonably believe it is immediately necessary to protect yourself from someone's unlawful deadly force, or prevent immediate commission of aggravated kidnapping, murder, sexual assault, aggravated sexual assault, robbery, or aggravated robbery. Texas also allows deadly force to protect another person's life under Penal Code 933, but only when you reasonably believe that the person would be justified using deadly force themselves and your intervention is immediately necessary. So meaning that you believe that someone was going to use deadly force and you're saving somebody else's life, right? But right here, Protect yourself from someone else's unlawful deadly force.
Yeah.
A push does not warrant that does not consider unlawful use of deadly force.
Well, see, that's why it took so long to go through it, because if you take into consideration they're on concrete steps, like pushing somebody, you could fall back, hit your head. That's probably why they dragged all this type of crap for so long. But you're correct. It was point blank.
They were on metal steps. They weren't on concrete steps. And even if he had backwards, he wouldn't have hit his head because of the positioning of everyone in the tent. They were parallel.
Yeah, and so that's what they were arguing, or at least that's how I think they tried to argue it. But it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere. And
but what I want to justify is a push is not considered deadly force,
of course,
unlawful deadly force. So even if he pushed him, that doesn't mean he gets to stab him in the heart. That is escalating to deadly force when a deadly force was not being utilized.
Correct.
And that's why he's convicted. It's not because of race. It's because the metric of force being used. If he would have if Metcalf pushed him and he would have punched him, that would have been within the margins of force. And it would not be considered deadly force. The fact that he went from, he abandoned fist fight and went straight to a weapon. That is where the escalation jumped to deadly force. And that's why it's considered unlawful use of deadly force, because there was no stopping of previous attempt of deadly force onto him. You know?
No, I agree 100%.
So, gentlemen, I do appreciate you guys' time on here. We've been going for almost 3 hours. I don't think that Mr. Goat is gonna come back.
I actually know he's streaming it on his channel, because anytime I make a comment in here, it tells me that my comment was blocked on Goat's channel. Goat, nobody's watching your ass, bruh. Out of here.
Let's see. Yeah, no, I don't see Goat streaming on mine, or he's not still using mine. He must be streaming some other how.
Yeah, maybe.
Who? Goat?
Yeah, this goat debater guy who came up and he sounds like he smokes 3 packs of cigarettes a day.
You talking about Taz?
Yeah.
See that?
Yeah, Taz is very black first.
White boy cracker.
Yeah, Taz has a hard on for white people.
I got called a racist, and I didn't even do anything racist.
Yeah, they called both him and dude, Fatty. Let's just talk about Fatty for a second. Fatty did not acquit himself well at all. All this fat nigga did, he talked over people. Let me finish. Obfuscate, moving goalposts. Well, you said this, but let me show you something somebody else did 5 years ago that proves that what you did. Get out of here. Low IQ.
Well, I will say this. This is my response to the debate prompt, because I'm the one that made the prompt. You guys had to agree to it. Now, Fatty and his panelists are accused of racism. So I would say that Fatty won in the sense that you could not prove that he was a racist, but you did prove that he had a panelist that he was a racist. So in that sense, you did prove that there was a racist on Fatty's panel.
Of course, because he came up and proved himself.
But Fatty did prove that he was not racist, that he didn't agree with what Goat was saying. So to me, Mish,
I mean, that's the thing with blacks, in my opinion. You never know where they stand. From one issue to the next. Half the time, the niggas are lying. The other time, right? You know what I'm saying? They're just not being honest. And I don't think, honestly, black people and white people can have genuine relationships, because white people can't be honest with black people. They can't legitimately tell them how they feel about Carmelo Anthony, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, George Floyd, and stuff like that. I don't think they can be honest.
I disagree with you. I disagree with
I
you.
tell everybody how I
I'm
feel
right
all
here.
the time.
But I mean,
I'm right here right now. I'm right here right now.
Right,
talking
okay,
with my brother.
but you're one person. But I'm saying, like in a work environment, there are
Yeah.
consequences.
You're
if you
saying
tell
like
right, if you tell a
collectively,
black
like
person, hey man, I
majority.
think, yeah, hey man, if you're at work, you tell a black person, hey, I think Carmelo Anthony should get 55 years. That black person going, even if you
Straight
thought he was
to
your friend,
HR.
he gonna realize like, wait a minute, this person, this white person is not going along with the program that he's supposed to be going along with. So on and so forth. Racism, all these, think about all the issues that you wouldn't at a workplace, you wouldn't feel comfortable talking to black people about if you're white. And so then you have to realize like you can't really be friends with people that you can't be honest. Right? Every day there's probably a new issue that pops up, Chud the Bill or whatever. You can't be honest with black people if you're white in a workplace.
And the funny thing is he kept trying to, Fatty kept trying to pin me down on other cases. He asked me, what do you think about Chud the Builder? I don't know, I don't know the whole thing about Chud the Builder, but based on my limited information, I think Chud the Builder needs to be in prison. Couldn't get me on that. So then he said, well, what about George Zimmerman? I said, well, no, George Zimmerman should clearly have gotten off for killing Trayvon Martin in the act of self-defense. Oh, I gotcha. So he waited until I said, he waited until there was a case where the black person either got killed or murdered or got put in prison, and that I agreed with that, and that proved that I was a racist when in the beginning I said, look, man, if Austin did the same thing to Carmelo that Carmelo did to Austin, Austin belongs in prison. That's why this again is why he chimped out, and then he left. He rage quit. Dude, I've been here the whole time. We've told Goat he can come back. It is what it is.
Yeah, this is where I think a lot of people need to. This is where I just, to me, everything will be a lot easier if we just go based off principle, right? The principle of the problem is that a young man's life was taken by another young man, and the man that took his life should face a penalty for ending the life of a young person,
regardless of race.
It doesn't matter if they're black, white, Latino, purple, gay, straight. I don't care about your social class. I don't care about your sexual background. I don't care about your religious background. If you ended a life unwarranted, not legally justified, then you should face the punishment of said action. And this is the problem that I have. We do this with women. We do this with people or minority groups. We try to minimize what they have done because they're a minority. No, if you are a woman and you diddled your student in school,
yes,
you should face the same crime as a man who diddles a kid in school. Like, there shouldn't be less sentencing. You shouldn't get less time in prison because you have a uterus. No, you should serve the same amount of time and have to register as a sex offender. If you are white and you stab a black kid in the heart, you should go to prison for the same amount of time as a black kid would stab a white man in the heart. I don't care. It's the principle. If it's the principle, then you don't have nothing to argue about.
Yep.
Well, I think.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think in the case of Carmelo Anthony, again, there's some deeper issues that came into play. I think very few people talked about this. Again, he moved to a very, very affluent, non-black neighborhood. Those things are true. So where were the character witnesses? He probably moved away from any church he ever attended. If he ever went to church, you saw who the ghetto-ass pastor of the church he went to, that Bishop Eli. He's kind of ghetto. He's been in prison. So
I agree with Miss D. I think women should get more time in prison. I agree with her.
So, there were clips of him saying, of some of his classmates saying, I only knew him for fighting. So he couldn't have many teachers or counselors or principals testify on his behalf in the victim impact, the character segment of the trial. And so I think you're getting an idea of what kind of person he was by what wasn't said about him. And I think you really have to pay attention to that. And I think that's why he got so much time, on top of the family not showing any kind of conciliatory attitude toward the victim family. They immediately start painting those people as racist and stuff like that. It's weird to paint a victim as a racist and bullies and stuff like that. They probably should have just accepted what their son had done and then just threw themselves at the mercy of the court.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think that and I think the outrage, the post outrage of like people peeing on this young man's, graveside and stuff like that is just distasteful. It's just completely distasteful, and it speaks to a culture that that's very problematic. I think is detrimental to a cohesive society. It says, I mean, not to get biblical on you guys, but it says like, love is not when justice is not served. No, love is when justice is served, not when injustice is served.
That's all right.
So, we're lacking a love of humanity when we are seeing outrage over justice. When we get outraged over due process.
Right. And a lot of people like to blame, they like to blame the fact that the defense didn't call any character witnesses for Carmelo. Did it ever occur to these niggas that the reason why there were no character witnesses for Carmelo is because they couldn't find a good one? Like, did it ever occur to them? And again, somebody said it in the chat. Like, not only, see, this is what niggas tend to just sort of choose to ignore. Carmelo Anthony was known for fighting, just like you said. Like, people said, I only knew him for fighting. Number one. Number two, he got suspended from school earlier in the year for doing what class? Bringing a knife to school. It was just said Austin Metcalf was a bully. If Austin Metcalf were such a bully, then why didn't anybody point that out during the trial? All of these rumors, all of these make-believe extenuating circumstances that people like to, that niggas like to take and use as gospel, none of it was ever mentioned in the court of law. It's absolutely incredible. The delusion is crazy.
Real quick, I want to take care of something else. Mrs. D, yes, Uncle Tom wants to have a Jake Rattlesnake debate part 2. If you could ask Jake if he would want to come over here on my channel, I will facilitate said debate. I think that would be a good laugh, in my opinion. But
thanks for putting this together, man. And listen, I'm not going to declare victory or defeat. I'm going to leave that to the audience. I'm going to leave that to the audience. I think my opinion is I think I purported myself very well. I think I explained. I think I was very articulate in my points. Yeah, I lost a little control here and there. I'll go ahead and cop to and admit to that. But this is what happens when people are yelling over you, talking over you, threatening you, blah 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 blah. No excuse. It is what it is. But I'm not gonna sit here and say, well, I won this debate. I will let the people decide.
Yeah, you, the people of the audience, are the deciders of this. If you guys think that Donovan won, feel free to say so. For those people that think that Fatty won, feel free to say so. I just wanted to host a conversation or a debate to clear the air on what they're actually talking about. And I think that we were able to facilitate that today. So I appreciate you guys. For all of you that are watching, please hit the like, subscribe, and all that stuff. Gentlemen, please stay in the background. You know what I always say? I like to end this, Donovan. I think you'll agree with this. I tell women, like, ladies, if you just follow these 3 easy steps that I write about and I talk about,